Conscripted by a secret organization, a group of strangers is loaded into experimental metapods, hurtling their souls across dimensions and into unsuspecting avatars. With each trip across reality, these newly minted metapilots gain access to unique powers and abilities, slowly transforming them into true masters of the Metaverse.
Joining me at the virtual table, I have Helen Mount, Mark Thomason, Sean Franklin, and Christian Doyle.
Hey,
We've got,
muted.
Oh,
Oh, you're live now.
I'm live now. Well, it's still Meta Monday, and this is still Masters of the Metaverse on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel here on Twitch. I'm your host and GM, James Durham. Joining me at the virtual table, I have Helen Roundhill, Mark Thomason, Sean Franklin, and Christian Doyle. We've got Leo back on tech in the real studio, bringing us live to you. And what is Masters of the Metaverse? Anybody want to field that question? Anybody? I guess I'll take it. I'm right here. It's only the most interactive live stream RPG on the planet. That's right.
All it is. That's all it is.
That's right. That's it. Only that. That's right. You, the audience, can influence and change our show live as it is happening. You really did that last week. Wow, that was super impressive and going to be hard to top. How do you do this? Well, first of all, there's our incredible store, which you can see now and see all the great ways to influence, change, or help or hinder our characters during the progress of the show. And we, of course, have our weekly Patreon polls, which, hey, I have those. I have those Patreon polls. Do you want to know the results? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Helen, this week you get plus 10 health and plus 5 to a roll.
Okay.
Sean, this week you get plus 10 health and plus 3 to a roll.
All right.
Christian, this week you get plus 20 health and plus 6 to a roll.
Ooh.
Then Mark, this week you get plus 40 health and plus 5 to a roll.
Nice.
And I get plus 10 health and plus 2 to a roll.
Ooh.
Once again, back in last place where I belong. Speaking of Patreon, we've got some very special backers I'd like to thank. Daniel Pack, thank you. Brent Phillips, thank you. And Cornelia Moore, thank you.
Pick up yourself, Cornelia.
So today our Dreams and Nightmares story continues. Our heroes have ventured to several metaverses, so far on a mission to restore hope and fight against the encroaching darkness brought upon the metaverses by the sinister creatures intent on spreading despair, hatred, and insanity across the metaverse.
Take that, encroaching darkness.
Good job. Today we journey to another metaverse in need of dire help. A metaverse that suffered a catastrophe at the hands of Project Metaverse.
Wait, what?
Yep. Outside of the metaverse, our heroes are dealing with the ups and downs of becoming a formally recognized by the United States government group, though still kept heavily classified as a secret. Bruno Hamilton is tired. The sort of tired one gets from reading thousands of pages of reports and spending days being questioned at congressional hearings. For now, they have listened lengthened, and our heroes are still free to continue doing what they do best. But change is on the horizon. It was not very long ago that Project Metaverse sent some test subjects to today's Metaverse. And what they thought that these poor people did at the time was just a virtual reality game, just testing it out. This Metaverse, in fact, is well suited to fit that description, for its rules and existence are much like that of a video game.
Oh boy.
During their time here, the mini Project Metaverse participants engaged in a hunt for high-value targets. Little did they know that these high-value targets were, in fact, all avatars of this particular Metaverse. It was also in this Metaverse that Andy James, Wyatt Maxwell, Brony Robbins, and Maddox McFerrin would all meet Tom for the first time. The destruction caused during this journey was catastrophic and world-altering. The world in question being a single city spread out along islands and a coastline. With so many of its great heroes dead, there were few who could stand up to the mad terrorist Boris Khrushchev and his evil organization, Red Scorpion. Worse still, Boris gained some new kind of weapon that altered the fabric of reality itself in this Metaverse, slowly replacing all of the people here with more of him. Now, outside of the spawn zone, there is only Boris, a single-minded tyrant who will not rest until the last of the world's people have become him. The only thing left to stand in his way are the 4 surviving members of the Freedom Force, an international organization created to fight the terrorists of Red Scorpion. But trapped within the spawn zone, how will they get past?
Moment of hashtag clarity.
How will they get past the legions of Boris that guard the only exits? And who exactly are these Freedom Force heroes? Well, there is Hotwire, our vehicular expert. If it moves, he knows how to move. He knows how to make it move better. We've got Freerunner with her trademark retracting grapple claw and impressive acrobatics maneuvers. There is no place that she can't get to. There is the deadly Sure Shot, who can't seem to miss a target even when he tries. And of course, you can't count out Nightwatch even though you can't see him. The deadly Infiltrator and Sabotage expert. Would these last 4 heroes be enough to stop the Power Mad Boris from finally consuming the spawn zone and becoming, well, everyone? I guess we'll find out. Could you do me a favor back in the studio and adjust the view of what we can see of the store? I can see the items, but I can't see how many we have.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
And I need a couple of things from chat, if I could,
Oh, go right ahead.
if that's all right.
That
Okay,
has-
so my avatar only has 5 phrases that he is allowed to say. So I still need a question of 5 words or less and an exclamation of 5 words or less. And I'll just take suggestions from chat, and those will become part of Sure Shot's permanent vocabulary and among the only things on it.
Amazing. Already
Isn't it?
great. So wait, so the last time that I was here, I had exactly no shooting ability, right?
You're
and
right.
wound up learning how to fly via rocket launcher so long as it was backward.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you, of course, have been lied to and deceived and told that it was all just a virtual reality game, when in fact
Uh-huh.
it wasn't. You were killing real people, at least real people as far as this particular metaverse goes.
Right. I have spent many a long and arduous night absolving myself of that guilt by reminding myself that I didn't know. But thanks for bringing it back up again, James.
Last time you were here, you had no superpowers beyond the ordinary. You were a musician that was good at.
Oh no, she
Oh
had the
no,
blue
I could
streak
run
powers.
super
At the time.
fast.
Oh, you had blue streak already. Okay.
I had the
Yeah.
blue streak powers at the time. That was sort of it was a prologue to things to come, and we were secretly revealing at the time that in fact Andy James was a Class 5 metapilot. We just weren't telling anyone for, I don't know, more than a year.
Including me. I didn't
Right.
know.
Why would you?
Oh, that's right. Meep Meep. I forgot about Meep Meep.
Yes. Of course, the last time you were here in this metaverse, it was a very different place. There were other people besides Boris outside of the spawn zone, and now Boris is everyone.
Gee, I wonder whose fault that is.
I would hate to make a conjecture at this point.
So, are we doing a poll in chat with all these choices, or is Christian just pulling?
I think he's just pulling them out of there. I was giving him a moment to write down anyone he wants to do.
There's some good ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some really bad ones in there.
Within the spawn zone, which is about 1,000-meter area, there are still
Got it. Thanks, chat.
There are still a few hundred of the normal NPC video game characters who just don't leave the spawn zone. And as long as they don't leave the spawn zone, they don't suddenly become Boris. But that means that their existence is confined to about 1,000-meter area. A very suburban type neighborhood, except that multiple people are crammed into homes that are not meant for multiple people, and they can't really go anywhere but up and down the same couple of streets. It's a pretty depressing environment. Now, in the center of this depressing environment is where our heroes start, and it is one of the few safe houses used by the Freedom Force. This one resembles a simple neighborhood gym, as all Freedom Force hideouts have a cover around them, because they are a secret organization that, of course, everyone still hears about in the news every day, even though they're secret.
Hey, look, we're fighting as freedom wherever there's problems.
And this is where you're beginning, inside this gym that is secretly a Freedom Force safe house. There's a map on the wall that contains everything on it of the Freedom City outside of the spawn zone. It clearly looks to you like a video game map. And hey, just for fun, let's go ahead and give everybody a system shock here right at the start to figure out where they're going to be on those sliders as we get into this, because that's important, I think.
Come on, pilot side.
In fact, we're going to start with Crash since he's so determined to start on the pilot side. Let's see where he ends up. I got bad news, buddy. You're going to end up in full avatar to start this.
Oh, man.
Copy that.
All right. How about Andy James? Let's see where she ends up.
Copy that.
Andy James is only going to be one away from pilot, so she's got a little avatar in there, but she's still in control. Going to have to face some of her past demons, it seems.
Great.
How about...
Sorry, am I one away from avatar or one away from pilot?
One away from pilot.
Pilot, okay.
For Bruno, we are going to be in full pilot. Looks like being out of the metaverse has taken its toll on you, and you're just not really to get yourself immersed in your avatar currently. And then we will end with our resident badass, John Stone, who, much like Crash, is going to be full avatar for the start of this scenario. All hot wire. So yeah, this map very much looks like a map you might see Andy James or Bruno in a video game. But to Hotwire and Sure Shot is a map you are very familiar with, as Freedom City has been your home. And inside this gym is where you are all beginning. Outside of here is the spawn zone, which is depicted by a lovely light glowing blue where the border of it ends. Outside of that border are the patrolling legions of Boris. And I mean legions of Boris, as every single person is in fact Boris. Every tank driver, every hot dog vendor, every street corner walking person, every helicopter pilot, all of them are Boris.
And here I thought Johnny Legion was bad.
A lot of Boris.
Bruh, still out the Boris is here?
But for now, it seems he cannot get within the spawn zone. But he is heavily patrolling the outside of it, waiting for anyone to venture out.
So are we here to pump iron or are we here to make a plan?
Wagwan girl, I don't know what's going on, but we in it deep now. We in it deep. Just like he said, you know.
Where do you want it?
I don't know. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and no more fucking Boris. That's what I want.
Copy
I also
that.
want to make this world a better place. Isn't that why we're actually here? I assume something went horribly wrong. I mean, it was never a nice place, but
They got Boris's everywhere now.
Yeah, that wasn't always the case. I mean, things did go really sideways a few years back, and the Red Scorpions were really starting to take over most of Freedom City. But then something happened, and Boris just started to be everyone, from the hot dog vendors to the cab drivers to the beat cops to everyone. Just Boris, Boris, Boris.
can I just ask what exactly happened here that was so bad?
Boom.
Yeah, it all started when a ship fell out of the sky and exploded. It was on that particular day. Yeah, it was like an oil tanker, except it was filled with people.
Were they Republicans?
They in fact were, and on that particular day, just about every other member of the Freedom Force was killed.
Great, wonderful. Yeah, I don't think we need to dig into who did that exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, would you say that again? You got nothing?
Target down.
Yeah, it was a rough day for all of us, I think.
Copy that.
Now, sure shot. Don't you be getting emotional now. Keep yourself together, eh? We'll figure this out, all right? We work together. We figure it out, all right?
I have the shot.
Okay. We need you to hold it together through all of this.
Copy that.
We got you, man. So, Free Runner, what you think, huh?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have to take out Boris. Is it a last-ditch effort kind of thing? Is the music going to be playing as we slow motion run across the field? Or is this just another day in the life?
This ain't no TV show now, you know. This is really important. We got people to save. We got somebody to avenge. We got somebody to kill. Huh? But we got to know more than we know now.
Well,
Who's our intel?
can you tell me a little bit about the map on the wall?
Yeah, absolutely, I can. The map on the wall shows the mountainous coastline that you are currently on is where the spawn zone is located. Outside of it are all the islands that consist of Freedom City. These include Flag Island, Patriot Island, Independence Island, and Amnesty Island.
Gotcha. Do we know where Boris is holed up? I mean, obviously, Boris is everywhere, but...
Yes, Boris is everywhere. You believe that Independence Island, the furthest north in the series of islands that are all only connected by a single bridge from island to island, would be the location of Red Scorpion's strongest base. But of course, there are bases all over the map.
Gotcha.
Along with outposts, radio towers, mobile command centers, and anti-air stations.
Great. So what you're telling me is we probably can't fly in.
In the words of Sure Shot Boom, where do you want it? Yeah, I know. I am already sorry. Hashtag crash buff.
Copy that.
Boom, where do you want it? Still wouldn't be the least romantic thing anyone has ever said to me. Sorry.
Is that in character or out of character?
I am mostly
Yes.
pilot at this
Both.
point, so wait.
I think I literally saw that one used on you.
Yeah, probably.
And on this map, there are also clearly marked safe houses on each one of the islands. They are all circled and labeled as Freedom Force Safe House.
Okay. So do we want to go
until we
island
know who
hopping? Do we want to check out each of the
Sure
safe-
Shot wanders over to the map and looks around and goes, where do you want it?
Well, apparently we're the only ones left from the force now, right? So we can't be poking our head up and getting shot at. We need some more info, huh? Sure shot. What you know about this place, man?
I have the shot.
That's what I like to hear, man. Yeah. You hear that, free runner? This man, he got the shot. Boom!
Boom!
Well, all right then, sure shot. Where do you want to shoot your shot?
That's what she said. Hey!
Hey!
He points at the location nearest to the spawn zone that is circled and goes, copy. That.
Mhm. He is pointing at Amnesty Island.
Amnesty Island has a good
That is
range.
the nearest island and the one that can be reachable by bridge from this coastline area. But it looks from this map and from looking outside of the window of the gym that it's quite a ways through that heavily patrolled area where there are armored vehicles, helicopters, Boris on foot, and a variety of other defenses, as though they are purposefully containing this spawn zone and patrolling it to keep anything from getting out.
So is there a safe house along the way to Amnesty Island?
No, there is not. There seems to be one safe house on each of the islands, aside from the spawn zone.
So obviously we got to be playing it low. Is there any kind of underground that we can be doing? Because all the bosses, they're going to see us coming from a mile away, you know.
Any chance you have a boat?
Ha! Girl, come on now. If it got wheels, I can drive it. If it's got wheels, I can fly it. And if it's a boat, I can boat it. I got a boat for you. Where you want to go?
I'm just saying, if we drop down the back of this cliff and onto a boat, we don't have to worry about a bridge at all.
With the boat I got. The problem is to get there without us to be seen, you know? And Bruno's walking around everywhere. There's the Bruno. There's the Bruno. Everybody got Bruno. Bruno up in the sky. Bruno down the road.
Boris,
Boris.
not Bruno.
We're waiting for Bruno. Bruno's ours. But Boris,
You got Bruno on the brain?
I wish Bruno was here.
Don't we all?
Sure shot.
Useful.
You got comms on Bruno.
Copy that.
See, that's what I like about Sure Shot, huh? He has an answer for
Great.
everything.
Boom.
Straight to the point. Nails it every time.
Target down.
Indeed.
Well, so here's my thought. My thought is if we can drop down the cliff and get to the island undetected via boat rather than trying to take on a bridge. Hotwire, if you've got a boat for us, I can get us up and down the cliffs.
Where do you want it?
I want to go to Amnesty Island.
I have the shot.
You have the shot? What do you say, Hotwire? Can we do this thing?
We can do it, but I mean, like I said, you know, we get these guys walking around all the place. So many of them, they're going to see us somehow. How are we going to hide it from them, you know?
So we're going to sneak out the back. Are they? They're patrolling the parts of the land that they can get to. If we're up against a cliff, right?
No, you are in the center of the spawn zone,
Oh,
which is
damn!
suburbia.
I thought we were up against a cliff. My
No.
bad.
No.
Okay.
You're in suburbia near a coastline, but you are in the center, the heart of that suburbia, which is the spawn zone.
I see.
What kind of tech do we have at our disposal here in our little hideaway
It's
here?
pretty stripped bare here at this present moment, as though someone took the majority of equipment and gear out of it. It looks like you've got what you're carrying and your wits currently, along with the map. And you all have radio headsets with little earpieces hooked in. But so far, no one has said anything on them.
Oh. Hey, Bruno, are you out there?
Yep. What do you need?
Well, it would
Bruno.
just be great to see your face.
What, are you lonely or something?
Well, I'm currently night watch is undercover, and I'm not exactly sure where I am in relation to anything at the moment.
Hey, Bruno. We got trouble, man. We're trying to get to the island. But we're being watched everywhere, you know? Eyes all over. You have an idea for us?
I'm not sure how to navigate this place. I don't have any contact with. Everybody's the same. They're all the same person. It's a little disturbing.
Copy that.
It is, in fact, very disturbing. Every single one is the same guy. They're even having conversations with each other. It is very jarring.
What kind of conversations do you have if you're all the same guy?
Hey, Boris,
Yeah.
vodka and cigars later? Hell yes, Boris.
Oh, okay.
Come on, don't tell me you never talk to yourself, girl.
Oh, sure I do. Mostly I'm telling myself how wonderful I am, so I guess I understand.
By the way, you've been working out.
Oh yeah, babe, check out those guns.
Oh.
Guns.
Big up yourself, girl. Sure shot. That's what I'm talking about, man. I love this guy. He always knows what to say, you know?
Target down.
Pick up yourself, sure shot. But seriously, we got to, obviously we can't just walk out, you know, in the middle of the day. So,
Unless
Not
we
a
can
spawn
disguise
zone.
ourselves.
Not at the
If we can
spawn
all
zone.
disguise ourselves as Boris, we're free and clear.
But you could probably get a better view of things from outside of the gym that is the Secret Freedom Force base. Really, all you're looking at now is a map and some views from a window. It's hard to see what exactly could be out there, all told.
Can we get on top of I can get on top of the building. What am I saying?
Oh, absolutely, you can. And for everyone else who chooses to travel in a regular fashion, there are stairs to reach the roof as well.
Copy that.
how many levels to the building?
Only two,
Well,
not
you know,
particularly high.
in the spirit of unnecessary travel, I am actually absolutely going to lean out of a window and shoot my grappling hook up into the eaves and climb up that way instead of using the stairs.
Will you mind giving me an acrobatics or an athletics roll on that one, please?
I would love to. All right, and I am on tenses. Cool. I'm gonna beat that by 5. Yep.
Good enough. You are up on the roof before they've even made it up the first couple of steps. As the rest of you join Andy James slash Freerunner on the roof, a voice comes in over your comm. Welcome to Freedom City. First objective, take safe house on Amnesty Island. You will fail.
So is Boris giving us our objectives?
Boris is everywhere.
Great. That's a little ironic, isn't it?
Pull up map now to view objectives.
Hey, did either one of you grab the map when you came up?
When you say map, you can see a map kind of just appears in front of you, Andy James. You can see it just like the map you were looking at downstairs. And then it zooms over to Amnesty Island and shows a glowing little dot where the safe house is.
Those are the other words that I can use.
Does the map show us
Guns, map, inventory.
And the map also shows your fellow players on it, including at the edge of the spawn zones, but still just inside of it, is where you see that Night Watch / Bruno is currently at. Apparently, he is a hot dog vendor at the moment.
He's a hot dog vendor.
Yes, just at the edge of the spawn zone.
Does he look like Boris?
Not currently. He's still inside the spawn zone, but he does not look like Night Watch at the moment.
Okay.
This is first objective. To secure safe house, must defeat outposts on Amnesty Island. Also secure airspace by taking out anti-air station. To delay contact with enemy, destroy radio tower.
Yo. We're not taking instructions from him, Boris. How we gonna trust the man who's up here everywhere, Boris, here, Boris?
Hey,
yeah, that is
just
a good
doing
point.
my job. You will fail.
Copy that. Where do you want it?
If making contact with Boris, you will have wanted level. Wanted level shown by stars. And you can see a little grid shows up in the bottom corner of what you can see and says a wanted level, and then shows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars on it. As wanted level rise, more Boris arrive to kill you.
Does music play as well, just out of curiosity? Does it get a little more intense?
Many radio stations here in Freedom City.
Perfect.
Bad
Oh,
boys,
Boris,
what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody not
yes,
getting
Boris'
no
favorite
break.
song.
Please, not getting no break. What? Oh, sorry. Before we get cut off. Copyright. ASCAP.
What's the likelihood, Hotwire, that we can steal a tank?
Ha.
I've got the shot.
Hey, you say you got ties one when I can make it happen, you know? If you see a tank, it's my tank. Huh?
So here's what I'm thinking now. New harebrained plan. We weekend at Bernie's, one of the Borises. Have him hanging out the top of a tank, which we just take along the road till somebody stops us.
Copy that.
We go, you know,
James,
in
what's
disguise.
what's between me and the gym?
Several suburban
Opportunity.
houses.
Do I see any Borises visible?
No, there are no Borises inside of the spawn zone. They are all outside of the spawn zone.
Okay, is the gym part of the spawn zone too?
Yes, the gym is in the center of the spawn zone.
I see. Okay. So it's just us. Okay.
There are non-player characters throughout the inside of the spawn zone that have not been turned into Borises yet.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity,
I
if one,
climb
of
the
us
stairs.
happens to die, do we just come back to the gym?
You're not really sure.
I'm going to take that as a no.
I climbed the stairs.
All right, you are on the roof.
Sure Shot attempts to get a better look at the surrounding area using his scope.
It is really heavily patrolled, and each of the roads out of the spawn zone suburban area has a roadblock set up with numerous Borises and armored vehicles present. There is also a pair of helicopters circling overhead just outside of the spawn zone, which you can see the blue barrier rises all the way up in the sky beyond your sight. It just keeps going. But the rest of the overhead is clear.
How far away is the edge of the spawn zone?
It's about 1,000 total meters in diameter, so about 500 meters in any direction from your location is the edge of the spawn zone.
I mark the targets for the roadblock.
Little red arrows pointing down show up everywhere that Sure Shot is indicating. You can see them, and you can also see them on that map that you can pull up, each one that he indicates.
Follow-up question. Are there any tall buildings near the edge of the spawn zone?
No, the spawn zone is mostly suburban area, a couple of convenience-type stores, a supermarket, and the gym.
So what you're telling me is I am not grappling my way onto a helicopter.
No, not here, but you can see the islands, though they're kind of shrouded in a little fog today, further away from here. And so a lot of the islands have a lot of very tall buildings on them. They're just very, very far away.
Gotcha. All right. So I would like to stick with my tank/armored vehicle plan. Sure Shot. Here's what I'm thinking. If you can make a ruckus at one of the exits to draw attention, Hotwire, I want you to go to one of the other exits and steal me the best fucking tank or armored vehicle or whatever. As long as it has a mounted gun, I'm happy. And I want you to steal us one of those.
Bring it on.
Okay. Let's see. Down on the ground. Night Watch, do you see any likely targets and or distractible Boruses?
I have the shot.
Not at this moment.
Not at this moment. All right.
I'm seeing mostly empty streets and civilians from this angle.
Gotcha.
I have the shot. Map.
The map pops up. It includes all of the barricades that have been indicated by Sure Shot already.
Amazing.
So wherever he's heading, I'm heading for the total opposite direction to go find, to wait for my opportunity when they're everybody distracted to go find a tank-like vehicle.
Perfect. While we're at it, I think Night Watch, I want you to try to lure civilians away from what I'm going to refer to as the panic zone.
Copy that.
Thank you. Sure Shot. I'm sorry. I should have let you know. As soon as we have, don't worry, babe. As soon as we have civilians meandering, let's say, away from your target zone, I'm going to give you a signal. Let's see. Hotwire, I need you to let me know when you're within conceivable distance of an armored vehicle.
Hey there, Freerunner. So just to be sure, we're not going to stealth our way out of this out to the island there. We're going to just go the most ostentatious route to get to the boat.
Oh no, honey, we are being stealthy. We're creating a distraction. We are stealing a tank. If we have any luck, we're going to mount a Boris on top of it and pretend like he's alive, and we're going to try to ride this thing as far as we can in disguise, incognito, until somebody notices us.
Roger that.
I'm not saying it's the best plan.
Andy, I'm not clear on all this video game stuff. If we go out and grab the tank, do we then pull back into here? And does that all function? If we come back, are we safe in here from prying eyes?
I believe so. James, if you want, would you elaborate? I assumed that this was a safe zone.
It seems accurate to you.
It seems accurate to me.
So that's a no, girl. He says no.
It would fit with the small amount that Andy James knows about video games.
It's true. I know almost nothing about video games.
She's been here before.
I have, and from what I remember, which admittedly is compromised by getting thrown into a pillar by a rocket launcher.
Yeah, you do recall that you weren't able to attack any of the high value targets when you were within the spawn zone.
There we go. All right. Merc, Crash does know a shit ton about video games. Unfortunately, yeah, he is an avatar. All right. So we're gonna try this plan unless somebody has a better plan.
I have the shot.
Hey, girl, I don't have a better plan.
All right. So let's lure away civilians. Hotwire, as soon as you have your eyes on a likely target, I want Sure Shot to open fire.
So walk me through this just so I understand before we start making dice rolls. Is Sure Shot going to be shooting at the people that Hotwire is stealing a tank from, or is Sure Shot shooting in a different direction?
Distracting.
I'm distracting on the other side of the zone.
So you're going to open fire on the other side of the zone where Night Watch has lured the civilians away from.
Yes.
And then on the opposite side of said spawn zone is where Hotwire is going to steal a tank. Is that what we're getting at?
You said 500 meters from the center of the.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna look for red barrels around those roadblocks, and I'm gonna shoot them.
There, in fact,
excellent.
are red barrels carelessly placed around those roadblocks.
Amazing.
I have the shot.
Hotwire.
All right, so these are what I'm going to want first. The first night part.
Hashtag personality. I think we might need some expert advice from the professional video game player, as opposed to the professional soldier, because video games are so accurate to RL Crash 2 toward pilot.
All right.
I do believe that Mr. Jackson's expertise might be extremely helpful in this situation. I apologize for overriding the wishes of others, but this seems necessary. Hashtag personality 1 towards pilot for Crash Jackson.
That's a total of 3 for making me 1 away from pilot, correct?
Correct.
I have the shot.
Crash?
This plan is going to be fine. This is a good plan. Tanks are really slow.
Okay.
True.
That's
and as
fair.
soon as we start driving one through town, our star rating is going to go up because the tank is at least a 3-star vehicle.
I see. Okay.
So if you want the tank to show up, you have to get at least 3 stars, which means we have to go out there and start just absolutely kicking ass. If the tank is your plan.
I mean, I was going to try to semi-stealth our way, but yeah, we can kick ass. I believe in our ability to kick ass.
Would it be better to, instead of going after a tank, go after something that's subtle that we could, tinted windows vehicle, something like that?
There are already armored vehicles present. They're just not tanks. They're armored Humvees and 6-wheeled vehicles and the like.
I mean, I will.
After that, we got a lot of those on site. We got all kinds of Humvees and different kinds of POVs. We even got some that are, like government type vehicles. So anything that you want, I can get one of them for you.
Okay. In that case, get me something fast and stealthy, and I will ride a tank in my dreams instead.
Hey, the tank idea is not out of the question. I'm totally for it. But that means we're going to have to raise our star level. Then we'll get access to things like helicopters and tanks.
I see.
And maybe even like those cool Coast Guard boats with the machine guns on them.
I would love
going to an island, right?
Machine on it.
We're not driving to the island. Is there a bridge?
There is one bridge leading from this coastline area to Amnesty Island.
I mean, I don't want to take the bridge. Don't get me wrong.
We don't want to take the bridge.
But we can't take the air because they have anti-aircraft guns on the islands, which we're supposed to be taking out.
Great, so let's take out the guns. That sounds great. Guns are probably like outposts. We probably get more XP once we take them control of the area. That's what we're going for, right?
I mean, yes, but our objective is to take Amnesty Island first.
Right, but unless we won't be able to have the firepower to get over the bridge unless we take out the guns or get control of the area around the bridge. So what's around the bridge?
Hopefully,
Yeah.
red barrels.
I'm thinking more of those roadblocks. Those roadblocks are likely like outpost things. The more of those we take out, the more influence that we'll have.
So you want to run a ground campaign where we slash and burn everything in our path.
Oh, no. I'm thinking a hit and run campaign where we hit the important targets around the bridge area until we technically control that area, at least from the game's point of view.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. So we want a fast armored vehicle that we can basically ride over any minor inconvenience so that we can take over the major outpoints.
right.
Okay.
Instead of taking out the nearest outpost to this area, we go take out the outpost closest to the bridge first.
Great.
That way, if we have a respawn problem, we might be able to use that.
Great. All right. I am in for that. Other than changing our vehicle, does that change our plan?
No, I'm good. Like
Great.
I said, I have the shot.
All right. I want a fast armored vehicle, and I will wait for a vehicle with a mounted gun.
You've got some choices there, Hotwire. There's the armored Humvees with the mounted guns on the top. There are the six-wheeled troop transport armored vehicles with also guns on the top. And then there are the black SUVs with tinted windows.
It's like James saw me and everything that I wanted in this world and was just like, Christmas, Christmas.
SUVs will be the fastest and probably have way better armor than we're expecting.
I just want to say, though, since it's a game, this is all fantasy, chat, packs, you are wrong. There can be a stealth tank. I mean, this is wherever you want to make it. I'm just saying. You can totally have a stealth tank. Just saying, you could.
That's true. I mean, who's to say there isn't a tank with some sort of cloaking ability in this game, other than James. James hasn't told us that we can't, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I got nothing for you.
All right.
And by the way, a stealth tank is called a stank, just so you know.
Thanks for that one.
Try to put some stank on it.
So, Crash, Andy, you just tell me what you want me to do because I do not understand the strategy in this world at all.
We're going to cause an explosion one way, and then we're going to basically book it the other way.
I'll trust you guys that that's a logical attack plan.
It's not. That's why it'll work. Logical attack plans. He's going to know them all. He's seen everything at this point, right?
Sure. Like I said, you guys take the lead. I trust you both.
First mistake. All right. I reckon you start offering free hot dogs and lure away our civilians.
Yeah, Bruno, you start slinging them weenies, huh?
You don't need to lure away civilians. Bad guys can't come in here.
Oh, I'm more worried about the explosions that you're about to cause on the perimeter.
Oh, everything
them
out
away.
there is them now.
Great.
The only civilians that aren't Boris are in here, or if there's other spawn points in there.
Right, we're just trying to keep them away from the edges where they could be hit by the blasts.
Right.
Hey, free runner.
Yep.
Hey, submit it over to the motor pool, huh? Full of all kinds of things for me to steal. What you want now?
Oh, get me the fastest you can. Fastest and well armored.
Fast moving, well armored. All right.
Yeah, babe.
So GM, what do we have?
Interestingly enough, Hotwire, when you look at any vehicle, you can see its physical statistics. This is one of the unique abilities to Hotwire.
Oh.
They each have a little rating from 1 to 5 on speed, armor, maneuverability, and looking at everything that's currently available, the highest in the scores is going to be the SUVs, which, while they aren't the most armored, they have almost maxed out speed and maneuverability.
And I assume they hold 6 people, something like that?
Yeah, they're Suburbans.
Does it have a armament of some kind?
There are no armaments on it, no.
No weaponry at all?
Nope, that is the only thing it seems to be lacking over the Humvees with the gun on the top, or the armored personnel characters with the guns on the top. But the Humvees are a little bit slower and a little bit less maneuverable, and the armored personnel carriers are significantly slower and less maneuverable, but much more armored.
Hey, Freerunner, you looking to make moves or looking to make a ruckus?
Well, we want to make moves now and a ruckus later.
Roger that. All right, I take an SUV.
All right. Well, before that begins, I'm going to want the shooting test on behalf of Sure Shot, who's going to be firing on some red barrels to create the explosions for the distraction. While that happens, I'm going to need a stealth check from Hotwire to try and slip into the area which is outside of the spawn zone where the Boruses are, and take one of their vehicles.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs.
So that was a stealth roll, you said, or?
Yep, gonna need stealth first.
Not a problem.
Hot dogs here, free hot dogs. Come and get them while they last. Free
Be about
and
4, sir.
How far out is the red barrel?
Bet you wish you had Reese now. Hashtag cool rule.
Oh, thank you. We got the start of a cool rule in the store. How far are the red barrels? They're about 550 meters from the top of the gym where you're currently located. Just 50 meters outside of the spawn zone.
All right, well, I am only going to take this one shot then.
Okay.
And beat my shooting by 13.
That is a great shot. All of you hear the explosion as, for no probable reason at all, the single bullet striking the red barrel causes it to immediately explode in a very large explosion radius. This, of course, immediately blows apart the 2 Boruses that are standing nearest to it, sending them flying completely intact. Their bodies don't actually blow apart, but they fly through the air and collapse on the ground, slowly fading away into nothing after they hit the ground for a few moments, leaving behind assault rifles where they were just killed.
Oh no! They're loot boxes!
Point of clarification there, GM.
What I need you to know is that I'm cocking an imaginary gun right now.
What was that clarification you needed?
Sorry.
Did you say that he shot a bullet, or was it a blue laser?
In this particular case, it is an actual bullet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, no red or blue lasers.
Nice.
Though I do love the reference.
Me too.
So what was that stealth check like over there? I didn't catch that.
Beat it by 4.
Beat it by 4. All right, you slip by a couple of Boruses who are talking. One of them says, keep eye out for Freedom Force. Ah, yes, I will shoot them on sight. As you slip by and hop into the driver's seat of this SUV, start it and drive back into the spawn zone, completely undetected. It's like they didn't even notice you drive away. It was kind of disturbing.
Kind of disturbing?
Yeah. I mean, on one level, kind of disturbing that they just don't even notice the vehicle being taken. Even after it's gone, they just continue their little walking patrol pattern, walking around where the SUV was as though it is still there. And looking through your rear view as you pull into the streets heading towards the gym, another SUV appears right where you just took this SUV from.
Amazing.
They'll never know I took this one.
Is there a way down from the roof that isn't the stairs? Is there like a zip line or something?
No, because
I
this
can
is
make you
designed
a
to be
zip
an
line.
undercover facility.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I head down the stairs.
I
Okay.
can make you a zip line.
Yeah, but then you'd have to climb up the stairs and bring it to me.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm still on the roof, Boo Boo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm right next to you.
Yep, she is also on the roof.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use my my grappling claw to make a zip line down toward where the SUV is.
Perfect. Will you give me a shooting test with that grappling claw?
I sure will. We're gonna beat that by 6.
Perfect. Sure shot. Can I get an athletics test for zip lining down?
Yes, you can. I beat it by 4.
Beat it by 4. You zip line down, landing on the SUV as it is driving by, and climbing into the passenger seat.
Good thing this thing got a sunroof, eh?
This gun is just stupid big.
Amazing. Amazing.
And the rest of you?
So Bruno walks over to the SUV as it's nearing, and as he goes, he takes off the hot dog vendor's coat and pulls off a mask that's like a normal person's face, and underneath it has Night Watch's whole, all black getup on underneath it. He pulls the mask off, and now he looks like this as he goes and just opens the door and climbs in, leaving pieces of gear scattered along the road behind him.
Which slowly disappear and fade into nothing after he gets into the SUV.
Incredible.
The story goes the hot dog guy was abducted by aliens and they left only his face behind.
Can I that was kind of lame. I was wondering if I could, be heading toward Bruno, and then as I get closer, I kind of drift and reach over and slide open the SUV door, and then kind of catch him into it, and then keep going. This is more better.
I'll take a driving test for that.
That is more better.
That is more better.
That's more better. Now, I'm using my natural ability called On the Edge, which says, when performing a higher risk or dangerous maneuver while operating a vehicle, Hotwire rolls twice and takes the best result. So
That's a fact.
Okay, so beat that one by 6. Beat that one by 7.
It is quite the maneuver, and without reaching a full stop, you pick up Night Watch, scooping him into the vehicle. And then, what about you, Freerunner?
Oh, I assumed that I was grappling hook, ziplining down.
Okay, well,
with
I need your acrobatics check now.
I
because
see,
the shooting
okay.
test for launching said grappling hook.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna beat that by 5.
All right, you allow the claw to pull you forward at a really high rate of speed, releasing it at the last moment, executing a perfect backflip and landing on the roof of the SUV.
It's gonna be like that. Yep.
Freerunner, we got room inside, girl. Come on in, huh?
All right, in that case, I'm gonna do like a forward
I
tuck.
look over at Hotwire and I go, it's all about family, Dom. Copy that?
And then Freerunner is inside the vehicle as well. Boris radio is playing. And in between songs, there is, of course, the Boris radio announcer. In recent poll, 10 out of 10 Borises say Boris regime is best regime in Freedom City.
I want to turn on the Boris Hip Hop channel.
All right, it is the Boris Hip Hop channel. I am not going to do that.
Boom, 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 boom.
You should come to my combat.
With the flying bear with the Sorry.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. And you are now driving the SUV through the spawn zone area. Where are you going?
I believe our intent is to capture the outpost at the mouth to the bridge. The bridge to Amnesty Island. If I remember correctly, all of the islands are connected by bridges, but it is a single path.
Yep, a single path going from one island to the next island to the next island. Makes no sense from a a civic engineering standpoint.
Not even the slightest, but I'm guessing we have to go down a particular path.
Yes, you are able to take the roadway, and as you drive the tinted window SUV through the first roadblock just outside of the spawn zone, many of the Borises wave as you go by and resume their patrol patterns. Overhead, there is a helicopter still slowly circling the spawn zone area. As you drive down the street, the normal cars driving down the street that take up traffic are also all driven by Boris. Random people walking along the sidewalks are also Boris. Hot dog vendors, Boris. Store operators, Boris. Everyone you see everywhere is in fact Boris.
Are the GTA hookers even Boris?
They aren't in this part of the map, but yes, they are.
That makes me happy.
They're all Boris.
Hey guys, so hey team. So you know how we're like we're really good at everything?
Yeah.
Even for us, that seemed like it was kind of easy, almost like it was too easy.
Maybe we just had a good plan.
I mean, not that I want to take any kind of credit or anything, but it was a pretty decent plan.
How are you obeying traffic laws?
So, is there is there enough to this world to be worth saving? Like, what is there left? It's like I don't know. Like, is there anything to this world if we get rid of Boris's? Are we just leaving behind an empty city, an empty place?
Well, they didn't know it used to be Boris's.
That's a fact.
James, do I even see anybody following us in the rear view?
There are numerous cars all over the street. I just need to know if you're following the traffic laws while you're driving.
Yes, he is. I mean, no, sorry.
I'm asking Hotwire.
I'm going fast, but I'm not driving crazy. I don't. There doesn't seem to be a reason to drive crazy yet.
All right. You don't really get a single raised eyebrow. You do notice that if you stop at a stop sign for for any more than a few moments, that the Borises around you all start to look at you, and then you drive away.
Because you don't have to follow traffic laws.
Nope.
Okay. Well, all right. I guess I just kind of drive willy-nilly.
All right, you're maneuvering your way through the streets, weaving in and out of the lanes of traffic and going around vehicles. It seems that the quicker he is driving, that less of the Borises turn to look at you as you go by.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
Say more and more.
Less seem to look at him as he is speeding by. It seems that the slower he is going, the more the Borises are paying attention to him.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, are we of this world? Our avatars, I mean.
Yes, very much so.
So this is it. Okay, so we know. Okay.
Except for this world didn't used to be all Borises. It used to be regular people, and well, even all of the Red Scorpion goons weren't Boris. Now he's his goons. He's his helicopter pilots. He's every person in the street. This is a rather recent development in the past 6 months or so.
So these aren't clones, though. He's like turning people into himself.
He's Agent Smithing these motherfuckers.
Yeah. So that means we have to find the Oracle, man.
Swarm.
If we find the Oracle, should be telling us what we're gonna do now.
Don't we know another guy that tried to Agent Smith an entire metaverse?
Tom?
Piloting game sprites? The only thing that could make this more meta would be to stream both games on Twitch. Hashtag MetaPoint.
I'm sorry, what was this show called? Oh, wait. Okay. No, I got it now.
Pick up yourself, Chrysalia. Is that Chrysalia? Chrysalia?
We're not the new guys of the metaverse. Okay,
Coming
So
to
we
you
have
next
to-
season, Noobs of the Metaverse.
The Noobverse.
Noobverse.
Do we have anyone like who's an oracle so we can go and ask for some wisdom?
didn't you
That
meet him
Crash?
here?
Sorry, what was that?
Didn't you meet him here?
Tom? Yes, I did.
Don't you think it's weird that Boris is doing exactly what Tom tried to do much later on?
I mean, yeah, when you put it like that, absolutely. I guess I had my experience with bad guys is pretty limited. I kind of had started to think that that was what they were all like.
No, that's not normal, Andy.
Well, I didn't say it was normal, just maybe normal for bad guys.
I know a lot of bad guys, and I'm telling you, there's only one other one that does, well, two, I guess, if you count Johnny. But he's a good guy.
Well, it depends on what metaverse you're in, doesn't it?
Hashtag cool rule. Boris found the source code. He's gone turbo. It's totally turbotastic. Time to input the hard reset. Code, loco.
That's a TV show.
Hey, who's this Tom you're talking about now?
Oh boy, how do we describe Tom? Where to even begin?
He's a friend.
No, he was a friend, if you can call him that. He was the Tactical Operations Matrix. Once upon a time, we believed that we were part of a video game, that we were testing video games without realizing that they were actually launching our consciousnesses into avatars. Tom was our liaison to, I guess, that world, the thing that sold the idea of the video game. Unfortunately, as it turned out, Tom had his own nefarious plans, which included, but I guess we're not limited to, taking over every metaverse and assimilating everyone by turning them into himself or aspects of himself. Currently, there are still aspects of Tom splintered off from the original Tom that are still circling around. We have done just about everything that we can to contain them, but it may be a never-ending task.
So this Bumperclot Tom, he's a bad guy then, eh?
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time. Some Toms are good Toms. Most Toms.
I'm
You
just
have to
saying, this sounds suspiciously similar to me. Suspicious.
Well, are any of the Borises wearing Hawaiian shirts? I feel like that should be a pretty strong indication right there.
So where are we heading now? We go to the boat or we go to the island? Where are we going?
We need to find, I guess, those anti-aircraft guns, right?
Yeah.
You're driving along the coastline at this point, making your way towards that bridge that heads towards Amnesty Island. As you get closer to the bridge, there is a stronger and stronger presence of actual military-clad Boris, as opposed to Boris in regular civilian clothes walking around. At the entrance to the bridge, there is another fully set-up barricade with manned guns and armored vehicles, and a line of cars that is stopped, and they are slowly letting one car through at a time after coming up to the window of the car.
Ah.
Cool. You want to let me out here?
They do invisible inspections of the cars, you know.
Nightwatch, can you look like a Boris?
I don't think so.
You did it before.
Well, he looked like a hot dog vendor.
Yep.
Might be a standard.
Unfortunately, you can't look like Boris as he is a named character. You can only blend in as unnamed characters.
Yeah, and that's not really my skill set right at the moment. If you get my drift.
Oh, fair enough. Hello, Bruno. Fair, fair, fair.
Yeah, why don't you guys let me out here and I'll give you some cover fire while you ram that thing.
That seems more like our speed.
It does, doesn't it? All right.
Start a ruckus now.
I guess we're starting a ruckus.
So you're going to let Sure Shot out? Is that the...
We're going to let Sure Shot out. I am going to be poised.
Those
I think.
those red barrel things we need to blow. Are those explosive? Like,
Yeah, if it's red and you shoot it, it'll explode.
And they are rather inconveniently placed around these roadblocks.
By inconveniently placed, do you mean inconveniently for us or inconveniently for them?
Inconveniently for them. I mean, it's would be a really foolish thing to put barrels that explode near your roadblock, but it seems to be the way things are done here.
Not even super smart to really even have barrels that explode.
No, it makes exactly no sense. Okay.
let me take a shot here.
Okay.
I'm going to use elemental magic, and rolling for that, and I beat it by 1.
Are you full Bruno now, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm full Bruno, and so he still has his bracers from when Chat gave them to him, and so we're gonna just basically heat up from a distance those red barrels and cause them to explode from fire energy.
Great.
With success by 1, you can detonate one of those barrels.
Cool,
And,
let's do it.
It goes up rather catastrophically. And as it does so, at the bottom corner of everyone's vision, a single star appears.
Okay.
And
There's no way anyone could know where the explosion came from. It makes us more...
and the Borises begin
alert.
running around and taking up firing positions, though none seem to be looking directly at your SUV yet. They are very alert, though, and looking in all directions. Some are running to vehicles, others
Okay.
to fire.
Now stay in line. Just stay in line, like you're going through the roadblock like everyone else.
Roger that. But you know, we got that to now, you know?
In fact, the first car in the lineup after the explosion immediately accelerates and takes off down the bridge at a high rate of speed, directly away from the explosion. Some further back go backwards into reverse and then turn around and take off, again, away from the explosion in different directions. And after about 10 seconds or so, the pathway between you and the barricade is completely cleared of civilian vehicles that have all sped away from the explosion and the impending shootout. What do you do, Hotwire?
All right.
Are there fleeing Borises out of curiosity?
The Borises in normal clothing, yes, not the military garbed ones, are running away from the explosions.
Yeah. I kind of want to grapple hook one through the window and pull it into the car with us. Take a hostage. That might be a terrible idea, but...
Well, I was wondering, because obviously they don't know that we're the ones they're looking for yet, right?
Seems to be the case.
Okay. So, are we looking to stealth our way in, or are we looking to just fight now? Because we can start some static right now, or we could just try to blend in with everybody else, and as long as the ruse lasts.
Looks like they're leaving it up to you.
You're the guy behind the wheel right now, my man.
So, the patrolling Borises. So I pull up near one, and I say, oh my gosh, what's going on? Where do we go? My kids are in the back, and I can't subject them to this horror. I must find someplace safe. What do I do?
You must get out of here. Hey, wait a minute. And the stars go up to 2, and I'll take initiative from everyone.
Son of a... No, well, I tried.
You're not a Boris. They're gonna notice you're not a Boris.
Well, yeah, they know where that Boris is, but they weren't looking for us.
Right, they were looking for anything that wasn't a Boris.
Well, we found them. Time to go, initiative.
Yep.
25.
I'm closer to pilot right now. Okay, 22.
22.
Also at 25.
What about you, Hotwire?
16.
Okay. Well, Crash, Bruno, you can either dice for it or decide amongst yourselves, but one of you is going to go first with the 25.
Go ahead, Grandpa.
All right. So Bruno's sitting in the front seat next to Hotwire, so he just leans forward, pulls out his crossbow, and fires straight at the guy that just got notified by Hotwire that we're here, and attempts to shoot him in the throat to silence him.
Nice.
Oops. Let's try that again. So that's a 9, so beat it by 9.
It is a great shot. You fire right past Hotwire out the window and into the throat of the Boris, who has a very confused look on his face for a moment before falling over. And as he falls over, his body slowly fades away, but the assault rifle remains on the ground. And it kind of has this thing where it flashes in and out of existence.
Grab that.
And I believe you have more than one attack there, Bruno, if I'm not mistaken.
I do. I don't know that there's anything else to do right at the moment, though, so I'll reserve that, I guess.
Okay, moving on to Crash.
I'm just gonna, like, what is this car that noticed us?
Wasn't a car. It was one of the Brunos, or excuse me, one of the Borises standing near the roadblock that noticed when Hotwire addressed him. But when that second star came up, numerous other Borises in the surrounding area turned their attention on the SUV.
Great. I'm gonna blow up one of the APCs by shooting it in the gas tank.
All right, that is a called shot.
With my giant sniper rifle of doom.
All right, that is a called shot. It would have a penalty of 4 for making a called shot.
This is going to be my only attack this round, so I will be ignoring that penalty.
All right. And why is it that happens?
Because sure shots, son. Here, I'll read the ability to you. Marksman, if taking a single attack, sure shot ignores all penalty for range, cover, and unsteady footing. This would fall under cover, so...
Yes, it would. All right. Go ahead and give me that shooting test.
And I'll even take a full round action, so I'll bounce it off the ground underneath the sucker so it hits that gas tank and just gets a nice big explosion.
And is that another one of your abilities there?
Yeah, bank on it.
Okay. Give me a shooting test.
Let's see, that is a 6 and a 6 for 12. I beat it by 6.
That is good enough. And the bullet, you ricochet off the ground and then up through and into the gas tank. And though this doesn't happen in the real world, in the world of video games, this is precisely how it works. And the armored vehicle immediately explodes, sending a Boris cartwheeling through the air out of the gun position in the top of the vehicle.
Oh,
2 more Borises standing nearby also are thrown through the air, one of them sailing over the edge of the bridge and landing in the water below. Andy James, you will be up
Target
next.
down.
How many Boruses are still in action?
There are currently 11 Boruses in your immediate vicinity,
Oh, great.
not including civilian garbed Boruses that are running away.
And we don't have a team up?
Not currently.
Okay.
There is a badass, a hacksaw, a moment of clarity, 3 meta points, and they're working towards a rule of cool.
Gotcha. All right. Because, yeah, I would probably just tell Hotwire to drive in a circle after shooting a grappling hook at whatever bar was handy, just a clothesline of some fuckers. But I guess I will do something else instead.
I don't know. That's pretty sweet.
I know, right? Can I do it without a team up?
It's totally possible. Hotwire hasn't gone yet. It
Okay.
just means you'll have to wait until Hotwire's turn because you can't use the advantage of team up of going on the higher initiative score.
Gotcha. Well, he's right after me. Hotwire, do you consent to this idea?
Sure, I'm down to help you out.
Great.
With this
All right.
my turn as well.
Yep,
So
it would be your turn as well. You would need to do the driving for her clothesline to work.
And would that be my only action?
It would be your only action, yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Is there a bar that I can shoot at or a fixed object?
Well, hang on. Hotwire's initiative is a 16 and Boris's initiative is a 17. So Boris is going to go before this driving maneuver takes place.
Oh, shit.
That's why I had to ask.
Ah, of course.
And the Boris immediately open fire on the SUV with assault rifles. Is there anything special about vehicles that you're driving and their Hotwire in regards to what kind of damage they can take?
Well, when I'm in an action mode, I can take about 25% more damage than a normal, than this car should usually be able to have.
That is a fact. They open fire with their assault rifles, spraying the outside of the vehicle, shattering tinted window glass, sending it flying all over the inside of the canopy and hitting all over the outside, but they do not manage to get bullets through the armor plating. Hotwire, you have a little meter that you can see that has the vehicle's health. It is now at 50%.
Okay, guys, those were not lasers. Those were not lasers.
And now you guys can attempt your combined action, which is first going to require the shooting test for your grappling hook to target a nearby light pole to use for the clotheslining maneuver.
Okay. Great. And I am on Andy. Close to you. All right. Haha! We're going to beat that sucker by 8.
By 8 is a success, and you are able to grapple onto the light pole. Now the role that really matters, the driving test that Hotwire will have to do to make it so that that grappling hook will work in a clothesline fashion, because it really comes down to him to make that hit the targets.
All right.
This would most certainly be one of those high-risk maneuvers, Hotwire.
Not a problem. So, I get to roll twice for that. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of these. Put my 8s. Another 8. Okay, so that first one I beat by 6. This one I beat by 9. Wait, no, I'm sorry. By 5. So first one by 6, second one beat by 5.
By 6 is a slightly higher success. Accelerating at a pace that this vehicle should just not be able to do, and cranking the wheel hard after you hit the grappling hook. Hotwire takes the SUV up on 2 wheels, going in a complete circle, almost tipping over, and clotheslining 4 Borises, sending them flying through the air at an impossibly high velocity. You think one of them cleared a nearby building, you hit him so hard.
Ooh.
As this is happening, James,
We got that one. Yeah. Here we go.
Ding, ding. Ring their bell.
What was that, Bruno?
So as this is happening, are we going past any of the dropped automatic weapons that.
Absolutely. You are doing a circle, so you're going to be going right over those areas.
But I was thinking, so Bruno's going to use his second action to swing open a door, lean out, and grab one of those so that he now has a automatic rifle.
Give me an athletics test.
I can just drive into him for you. That's probably the same effect.
Beat it by 10.
Beat it by 10. You are able, while the vehicle is on two wheels, you are actually on the side, pointing up in the air. So you start ridiculously lean all the way out underneath the carriage, snatch a rifle as it goes by, and roll back into the seat as we once again go to Bruno and Crash at the top of the order, once again deciding who's going to go first.
Bruno, go ahead. You just picked up a rifle. Do something with it.
Who's left? What do I got that's left to shoot?
There are 6 currently available Borises in the vicinity that are not in civilian clothes and running away. Those 6 are in military garb and have been opening fire on the vehicle. There were 11. 5 of them were just clotheslined completely beyond your sight by the rapidly moving vehicle connected by a grappling claw to a light pole.
So simple enough. I'm going to lean out the side window and target the first one and take a shot. And I beat that by a lot, by 13.
You fire a burst of 3 rounds, which takes that Boris directly in the face. And as he drops, his body fades away, and the assault rifle collapses against his feet.
And we're going to do that again, and that beats it by 15 this time.
Another perfect shot. You're going to make Sure Shot jealous as you open fire on Boris's. Sure Shot.
Crash.
All right, you said that makes there 5 left?
4 left. He just shot
4 left. And we're whipping around really fast like a tetherball.
Like a tetherball.
I love it. I'm going to use that opportunity to use an athletics check to roll out the window and bash a guy with the rifle and shoot another guy.
All right, give me an athletics test to start that out.
And just then on the radio, roll out, roll out.
It's amazing. I don't even open the door. I just go out the window. I rolled a 4.
So you beat that by 14?
Yeah, I beat it by everything that there is.
Yeah, you roll out, landing perfectly on your feet as you roll up with the rifle in your hand, ready to butt stroke the nearest Boris. Go ahead and give me that fighting test for that one.
That I only beat by 2.
That is still going to hit, as this is a foot soldier, Boris, and you strike him in the face. His body collapses, fading away before it hits the ground, an assault rifle landing there where he just was.
I'll catch it on my foot like a hacky sack as I take the shot. I know that's another split. I just think it would be cool to do.
It is another split.
For those of you watching at home that aren't familiar with the term, a butt stroke is not a sexual caressing of boobies. Butt stroke happens to be an offensive maneuver done with the butt end of a rifle, and therefore it's called a butt stroke. You see, the rifle has called the toe and the butt, which is the never mind.
Beat it by 8.
Thank you, Sean. Usually I'm the one that has to explain those things. I like it that you're here for that.
I mean,
beat it by 8. It is.
Lie and imagine that it was whatever I wanted it to be. But thank you, Sean.
And I beat the athletics by 6. To flip it back up in my hand, now I've got 2.
You now have 2 weapons, 1 rifle in each hand, though the assault rifle is not as great as your rifle. And there are only 2 Borises standing on their feet as we get to Andy James / Free Runner's turn.
Great. In that case, I am going to. How close are they?
They're one's on one side and one's on the other. You're still going in circles at the moment.
Okay. Side one's on the other?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, if you let go of it at just the right time, you smash into whoever you want.
That's kind of what I was thinking. So yeah, I'm going to draw my knives, and in this case, I'm going to draw 1 demon blade and one of my throwing knives. And I am going to launch myself as the car goes around at one of them and do just a cut across the neck as I reach him.
Beautiful. Give me an acrobatics followed by a fighting test.
I can do that. I am closer to Andy James. Can I go on athletics for that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So I am going to hit that exactly. So I might use up my Patreon buff to beat it by 5. And then I need a what after that? Fighting?
Fighting test. Yep.
Okay. Unless I don't need to use up my Patreon.
You're going to want to use that.
Yeah, okay. And then fighting test. Oh, double ones. Okay. Yeah, and then I'm going to beat it by 14.
You graphically and gorily remove the head of this Boris just before his body fades away and the assault rifle drops at the feet of where he just was.
Does he have any other loot?
That's
Sure
all.
shot looks over at you. Target down.
Where do you get them sword from, eh?
Before Hotwire goes, the last remaining Boris is going to go. At this point, the wanted goes up to 3 stars.
Enter helicopters and tanks.
And as he opens fire again into the vehicle, bringing it down to 40% health, a helicopter appears in the sky heading towards you, and you can hear the screech of tires of SUVs approaching from nearby streets. Hotwire, your turn.
Hey, so, as much fun as we're having fighting these dudes off, I cannot run them, If you want, I can probably outrun them. They'll give up after a while.
I want that helicopter.
Helicopter does us no good until we take out anti-aircraft guns.
Fine.
So if I take out these remaining foot soldiers, we're just going to attract more of them.
Oh, we get them mad enough, they're going to send tanks. And isn't that what our goal is here? A tank?
Yeah.
But with tanks comes more tanks. We get one tank, they have more tanks and helicopters.
Fine, we'll get it done. No tanks to you.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Do they have an A10 too? After we get on a tank, they have A10s coming after us as well. Or that makes you happy now? Well, I'm just saying, you got to be thinking ahead about this. Or I can just outrun them.
You got to be thinking ahead about it.
If you drive a tank, won't it go faster than a regular tank?
Oh, yeah, but it won't go faster than a helicopter. Right now, I can outrun everybody. As long as I don't take any more damage to my car, I can outrun all.
Now, I can think real hard and knock a helicopter out of the sky.
You don't know how to do that, man. Man, you're crazy, Bomber Cloud. We can't do that with your mind. Put a helicopter out of the sky.
So how have you noticed that Sure Shot has a much larger vocabulary than usual?
In all the hubbub, I haven't really noticed that, actually. I just figured he's so excited that he's talking.
I have the shot.
He is suddenly verbose.
What's the plan?
All right, so just a vote then. A vote. Fight or run? Fight or run? Fight, run.
Run and gun, man.
Run and gun. Let's do it.
All for fight and say RA. Nobody
I
for
say
fight.
both. You run, we'll fight.
All right. Hold on. Here we go.
Come
now,
on,
there is the problem that
these games.
Sure Shot is not in the vehicle currently.
I am going to use my grappling hook to grab Sure Shot and pull him into the
Come on.
Because it's not your turn, it's Hotwire's turn.
Yeah.
Right here.
Well, man, we got to run now. Get back in the car.
I'll be right there. Do you?
Oh wait, Sure Shot's not in the car. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was. She was in the car. Okay, whatever.
He'll catch up.
Oh,
she's
I'm
also
not in the
vehicle.
car either, actually.
Yep.
That is
She is also.
So who's in the car?
Just
Who's
you
not in the
and
car?
Night Watch.
You and I watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't even see him.
Yep.
Actually, he does right now because Night Watch is all turned off. So
It doesn't matter. I'm on my comm.
he's
All right,
got
we're gonna run and gun it now. You guys, you come back to the vehicle.
Yeah.
Wait,
All right, give me that
okay.
driving test.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm just saying, Sure Shot and I, if there is a piece of any sort of metal or detritus, we can water ski essentially behind this vehicle. That is something that we are capable of.
Give me that driving test, please, would you, Hotwire? As you accelerate away. They seem to have some kind of plan for catching up with you.
All right, here we go. Oops. Excuse me. Beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8, and you accelerate, weaving around the burning wreckage of the vehicle and around a couple more of these red barrels, going straight through the setup roadblock and using the SUV to jump the sandbag barricade like a ramp. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, folks, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
sail through the air.
It's raining outside.
I don't see sunny or rainy. They're all just days to me.
Okay, but clearly it's raining.
Is it? I mean, yes, obviously it is, but just to play devil's advocate for a moment, is it really?
Yes, yes it is. Look outside.
So you want it to be sunny all the time. Is that what you want? You want constant sunshine. Have you ever heard of a drought?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that it's raining.
Look, don't be such a hater. All days matter.
Dude, just look outside.
You know, my cousin was caught in a snowstorm last year. Where was the outrage then?
I'm just pointing out.
It rains so much more in India. You have to deal with so much less weather in this part of the world, but I don't know why you're complaining. True, it was raining, but it's completely stopped now. Ancient history. Get over yourself. I studied meteorology in high school, and the term is actually precipitation. The climate changes are clearly part of a natural cycle that has nothing to do with us. So, rain should be underrepresented. Maybe rain just writes better science fiction. This kind of negativity just propagates the conservative agenda. People who wear raincoats anyway, right? F you. You ignorant Did you back and your or were you just that way? I hope you get rained on. That'll teach you a lesson. To push this dry-hating cumulonimbus bull.
I think we've had a little misunderstanding. Maybe we should go outside, take a walk. You can get some fresh air.
In the rain?
We get the final insert here and
All right.
break for second meal.
All right. Warm pocket cheese. I'm in.
All right.
So, are you familiar with how to fondle a nipple?
Nick? Yes.
Nick, I'm gonna shoot Christian's face. Shooting Christian's face.
Oh, come on.
No, you're gone.
All right. So apparently
We're
this
gonna
is
make a
just
movie.
like handling a nipple.
Okay.
So
More
pinch really
asn't
hard.
than isn't.
I'm going to pinch the
perfect.
nipple.
Okay. I'll pull focus now.
Work.
I need the back of your head, sir, and the front of yours.
It works at night.
Do you know? No. It's usually Ben that does.
Okay,
this stuff.
okay. The sound of silence, because he's off camera, not talking, and Armageddon on that. Come on.
Still a double.
Whatever. Yes, I can do this.
Thanks.
No, you have to help.
Oh, what do I need
Just
to
take
do?
this here, and then
We'll
we're.
start on Leo's face before we go down. Get out.
Wow. Really? Huh. We gonna make a movie?
How does this work?
I don't
This
know.
is awesome.
I'm usually over there.
Okay. What happens if I twist this?
Hey, want to
What?
tune my mandolin?
Oh,
come on!
What is wrong with you?
Jeez, his words.
Sure.
What? What are you doing here?
Red card.
That is too big.
Ben's mom. Come on. What? Ben's mom is off limits.
What I've heard.
Oh, get out. Out. Hey. What? Oh, really? Wait. Why am I even in here? You're filling in for Andy. Okay. I don't even have to go. I just. Wait. Here you go. Are you serious? Seriously? Jay.
Welcome back, everybody, to Masters in the Metaverse here on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel on Twitch. Joining us for a lovely new episode in our Dreams and Nightmares run. We've got our characters here in a video game-inspired metaverse. Currently on a high-speed combat taking place with half of the team in a SUV leaping over a barricade and a pretty fancy jump maneuver, and 2 more left behind on foot. But they've raised their wanted level to 3 stars currently, which means there are helicopters and vehicles en route to the scene. And where we left off was the end of a combat round, and we're going to start back off with Crash and Bruno still in that same initiative order, deciding between themselves who is going to end up going. Bruno riding in the passenger seat of the SUV that is completing a very Hazard County-style jump over the barricade.
Woohoo!
It looks like our meta pilots have gotten themselves into some trouble.
That's why we're freeze framed in air, right? I hope. Yeah. Okay. Good.
But our image when we land is far less problematic.
Yes. Yes.
My childhood.
Hey, when I was a kid, I watched that show all the time, so I don't know what y'all tripping on.
Yeah, so did I. I just feel like it would play a different song now. And have a different flag on.
One or the other, at least.
Probably something from Hamilton.
I'm okay with that.
Giving it my best shot.
So we're going to be starting with Crash and Bruno. There's not really a whole lot that Bruno can do from the passenger seat of the leaping vehicle, but maybe he's got a plan. Who knows? What do you got for us, Gramps?
I don't really. I figure we're trying to outrun the helicopter more than anything else, and there's not really anything else for me to do. So I'm gonna just kind of keep an eye on stuff and make sure I'm spotting the helicopter if it gets too close to us.
No, yeah, that helicopter is definitely on its way in, and most of the adjacent streets to the roadblock have SUVs speeding up to them, and there are armored Humvees trailing behind them, but they're not nearly as fast as the speeding SUVs. Crash, you've been left behind, sort of.
Yeah, I holster or throw on my back randomly the assault rifle.
It disappears, but you still have it in your inventory.
Right. Raise up the scary gun of doom. At the oncoming helicopter. Zoom in my scope as much as I can to see if I can get that pilot.
Yep, you can see Boris very clearly on the stick flying the helicopter.
I'm splitting my. I've got 2 actions, so I'm not going to be doing anything fancy with my gun this time. But I am going to take that shot at Boris, and then I'm going to Shazam into the passenger seat.
Oh, there you go.
All right, give me a shooting test.
And the Boris in the vehicle following us going, I'm going to get him.
Shooting test, I beat by 10.
Right through the glass, straight to the head of the Boris pilot, who immediately starts to fade from existence as the blood and brains splatters over the back of the cockpit. And there's a handgun now sitting on the floorboards where he was.
Oh, I've got that.
Of the,
I made my power usage roll by 8, so I'm there.
All right, and you are in the cockpit of the helicopter. That is the 225s. We're going to go to
target down. Helicopter
fired. / free runner next.
I'm sorry, what just happened? He did what? Now he's up in the copter?
Yeah, you can't really figure it out there, Hotwire. It's just he shot, and then suddenly he's calling you from inside the helicopter.
Okay.
He's on his radio from inside. It's really weird. That's a new one from Sure Shot.
Oh my God, Sure Shot, what you doing there, man?
Copy that.
And James Freerunner, what are you going to do? You are now alone, left on the street behind by the roadblock.
I sure am. 2 questions. How far away is the car now and the helicopter?
The helicopter's still a ways distance. The speeding SUV with Hotwire at the wheel is probably only about 50 feet away from you so far in the arc of its jump.
Excellent. Is there a piece of flat, say the armor or armored something, flat detritus
Yes, there's in fact a passenger side door from the vehicle.
Of
that,
course, there's something
Sure
metal for you to street surf on. Don't be ridiculous.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to kick that out in front of me, take a running jump at it, and at the same time shoot my grappling hook at the back of the car. So that I can Legolas it, or whatever you want to call it, down the way. Yeah.
Wonderful. Give me a shooting test for the grappling hook and then an athletics test for the street surfing.
Woo. All right. I'm going to beat my shooting by 6. And athletics. I am going to beat that one by 5.
All right, you launch your grappling claw, and it grabs hold of the rear bumper of the jumping SUV with hot wire at the controls. And your running leap, you angle your heels right into the door, and it begins sliding across the pavement, kicking up sparks behind it. Yeah. And then you are also hitting the jump of sandbags and flying through the air as well, just after the SUV lands, continuing its progress.
Don't you do a perfect kickflip in the middle, please?
Oh, for sure. On here it says that I'm a parkour master. I assume that I'm doing tricks in the meantime.
I think that that's kind of a given. We're going to go to the Boruses next at 17. The 3 vehicles attempt to race through and follow the carnage of the destroyed barricade.
As this is happening, Bruno watches Andy behind them doing this, reaches out and smacks the hot wire on the shoulder and is like, "See that? That's my granddaughter back there."
Yes!
You didn't know that Night Watch and Freerunner were related, Hotwire. And you certainly didn't think Night Watch was a grandfather. But then again, he doesn't ever talk all that much. 2 of the SUVs manage to hit the sandbag jump and leap over it, continuing behind you in pursuit. The 3rd of the SUVs hits the jump at a bad angle, crashes into the sidewall of the bridge, and rolls over, falling into the ocean water below. Hotwire, you're at a 16, and next you're being pursued by 2 vehicles. You have a street surfer behind you.
Okay, so she's tethered on with a grappling hook. What is she surfing on? It's a piece of steel.
A car door. Yeah,
door.
In fact, one of the armored vehicle that Sure Shot blew up, its passenger side door.
Okay, and there are 2 SUVs behind us.
Yes.
Okay, what else? Is anybody next to us on the sides or?
Not yet. Those are the only fast vehicles. The armored Humvees and armored vehicles are taking the entirety of their turns just to reach the barricade. They're not as fast as these SUVs are, which of course you know because you can see the statistics on every single vehicle that you look at.
Okay, and the 2 behind, are they abreast of each other or single file?
They're in single file because they both had to take the jump.
Cool. Okay. So this should be easy for me to do this one-handed. And Bruno isn't. Well, Bruno knows what to do. I'm gonna turn. I got my Uzi. It's one of my weapons. And one-handed, I'm gonna shoot at the tires of the lead vehicle behind us.
Absolutely.
But of course, I'm gonna shoot are totally around Freerunner there. So I know better than to hit my girl there. So.
Give me a shooting test.
Boom.
Okay. Beat it by 3.
Beat it by 3. You open fire and rounds hit the pavement. A few hit near the tire, and with the last part of the burst, the tire explodes, sending rubber everywhere, and sparks fly as the bare wheel hits the ground. The Boris driving it somehow manages to keep control, but slides off to the left as the second SUV passes him, unable to keep the pace with a blown tire.
Nice.
So down to one pursuer, yes?
One in your immediate vicinity as we go to the top with Crash and Bruno again. I believe Bruno was going first the way we were doing things. So, Bruno.
So I see what Hotwire's doing there, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. He takes out the first car, so I'm going to go for the second one. So Bruno hooks his feet into the dashboard, leans out the open door, and kind of hangs upside down to take the shot on the tires of the next car that's chasing him. And that's a 4, so beat that by 14 for a shooting test.
Your shot is perfectly timed, and you get it right as he's turning the wheel to kind of take the center place, moving around the first one that was slowing down. And as the tire explodes, he is completely loses control, and the vehicle does 2 forward flips through the air before landing in a fiery explosion behind you, just a few meters short of where Andy James / Freerunner is street skating.
And I'm going to pump my fist in the air and say, go, Gramps, go.
We cut to Crash in the cockpit of the helicopter. Warning lights indicating a radar lock are going off.
Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna flip this Huey into a Yui, and without even locking on, fire all my rockets at the oncoming helicopters.
Whoa. So you're going to fire all your guns at once and explode into space?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess
Don't stop him now.
And I think you know why.
Give me a shooting test.
I need to do a power usage test first because the turn is not going to be like me veering around. It's going to be me stopping the propeller and just flipping the cab around.
Okay.
Yes, I am going to need that power use test then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This could tear the helicopter in half if I do it badly. That's part of why I'm doing it.
I mean, sure. Why not, Boo?
That's 9, so yeah, I beat it by 7.
Beat it by 7. You wrench it around. However, in doing so, you believe that the rotor will no longer be functioning on this helicopter, and it is solely your power keeping it currently aloft.
That's fine.
With me seeing what just happened, I'm driving, but I'm strategically driving so that I'm relatively underneath the copter, anticipating that he's going to have to bail out of that thing pretty soon.
Not a bad plan. Now go ahead and give me that shooting test.
What do we have in this store? Anything fun?
You've got 3 meta points, 1 moment of clarity, 1...
I've got a hacksaw.
Hacksaw. Yes, you do. Gonna use it?
I have the shot.
You have the shot. All right. Every helicopter is being targeted. Go ahead and give me that shooting test.
I rolled a 2 into 6, so that's 8. I beat my shooting by 10?
By 10.
Damn.
Even with the penalty for outlocking on the shot, that is still going to be a smashing success. And all of the rockets fire from this helicopter without a lock, just dead firing forward, and somehow manage to hit their targets, which blows all 3 pursuing helicopters out of the sky. It should be noted, however, the warning lights indicating a target lock have not gone off.
That'll be the anti-aircraft guns. So as I turn around, I say, "Where do you want it?" And after I shoot, I say, "Target's down."
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, and that's all I can do this round, so I'm not bailing yet.
Freerunner / Andy James, you are up next. Approaching
Okay.
helicopters have exploded. Armored vehicles and Humvees have just reached the barricade. The 2 pursuing SUVs, one of them is falling behind with a blown tire. The other one is wreckage on the bridge. The helicopter being piloted by Sure Shot is seemingly being held aloft by who knows what, because the rotor certainly isn't turning, but it's still sitting up there in the sky.
So if the barricade is slash jump is blocked, are the pursuant vehicles still a problem?
That is an interesting question.
I know, I just asked you.
Only one way to find out.
Wait? I mean... Okay. Let's see. Sorry?
It's your moment. How are you going to use it?
Well, let's see. The helicopters are gone. We have armored vehicles coming up behind the two SUVs, right?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I'm going to... I mean, I don't know if they're a threat. Perfect. I mean, I'm at a wonderful place right now to cackle and strafe. So.
Yeah, the cackle strafe. Yeah.
I mean, that's basically my move right now. I think is
Cackle and
probably
Strafe sound like a Southern Oregon popcorn company.
cackle and strafe. Absolutely. But instead of popcorn, I'm gonna make Swiss cheese out of a car, and basically just, run back and forth with my gun and laugh, and let the bullets fall where they may.
Give me a shooting test, would you, Andy James?
Sure. Which fortunately I don't take a penalty to, even though I'm surfing. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to beat that by 15. Not 15, sorry. Beat it by 13.
Beat it by 13. That is a critical success. Your strafe is on the upper portion of the first one of the armored Humvees that is reaching that barricade, which has plating put on over the front windshield to make the drivers harder to hit, with small little slits where they can see out of. But somehow your bullets find that small little gap that they use to see out of, and you hit something behind it, and the Humvee veers off to the side before it reaches the barricade, crashing into a curb and then into a nearby building, exploding in flames. The vehicles around here seem to explode a lot on impact.
I can see that. I'm just going to be like, it's showtime! Yep.
The Borises are next at A17. The helicopters are blown to pieces. The two other remaining armored Humvees, rather than jumping through the ramp barricade, just plow straight through it, knocking aside pieces of vehicle and flaming wreckage as they head through. The one in the lead, the mounted gun on the top, is being operated by a Boris, who opens fire, not aiming at the fleeing SUV, no, but aiming at the street skater behind the SUV. What is your dodge, Andy James?
My dodge is 6.
Hey. You are, in fact, hit by...
I'm sorry. I'm closer to Andy James. My dodge is 8.
Oh, dodge is 8. That's not going to hit. Bullets hit everywhere, and you kind of take your feet off of the doorway for a second, do a quick kick flip with it, and slide it off to the side, letting bullets hit where you just were, landing back on it, sliding over to the embankment of the bridge and up onto the guardrail, doing another quick flip through the air as bullets chase after you, blowing away pieces of pavement and masonry in pursuit. And you go up to 4 stars on your wanted level. Ahead of you, Hotwire, there are vehicles coming from the other direction towards you, the direction you are, in fact, fleeing to, including at the lead, a tank.
Hey, everyone. It's getting hot now. We got everybody, pretty much everybody's coming after us. And we got a tank up in here, so, free runner. If
you're able to get a good view of it just as a gout of flame appears in front of the barrel of the tank, and a large, heavy object streaks by your SUV, slamming into the wreckage of one of the SUVs behind you and blowing it into tiny pieces, missing your vehicle by scant inches.
They've
Best
got a
job's ever
case
had.
full.
Your turn, Hotwire.
All right then. So okay. So there's no more SUVs behind me, right?
Nope, there are armored Humvees behind you. They're just further back than those SUVs were.
Okay, we're coming up toward a tank with a big gun.
Yes, and more SUVs and armored vehicles behind it. It's like they just appeared out of nowhere.
Okay. And are we going over is it an overpass or a bridge or what are we on again?
We're on a
There's
bridge
water
going over water. And also, in fact, you can see in said water that there are patrol boats that are also approaching that have armed weapons on them, manned by Boris's as well. You are at the 4-star wanted level. By land, sea, and air, they are coming.
Great.
Huh. Okay. So, hey, everyone, just wanted to know how much you want to stay in this fracas, or if you want to try to take a more discretionary, being the better part of valor. Did you want to bail out of this, or you want to keep going forward now?
I've got the shot.
Okay, that's one vote for fracas.
For fracas.
Fiorana, you vote for fracas?
I'm up for fracas.
Hey, Nightwalker, night train. What is
Night watch?
Thunderbird? Night watch. What do you vote for?
Evening time teller.
He's just too wasted to tell you.
Whatever.
Hey, Leo, I heard you now. Don't be laughing, me, Leo.
I'm just following their lead.
All right, looks like we're going for the fracas. So, okay, so the tank is ahead.
Yes.
How much ahead? Is there anything else between me and the tank?
No, nothing but open road.
That's probably not a good thing.
Okay, no obstacles, no bumps, no anything at all? Nothing at all?
Nope, just open road on this freeway-sized overpass-type bridge headed over the water.
Let's see here. What's in the store?
Not too much right now.
Got meta poise, got moments of clarity, got badassery, got hack attacks. Huh.
Badassery is you, right?
What's that?
Badassery is you?
Yep, badass is John Stone's buff.
Yeah, but it's not gonna do a whole lot for what I want to do. Nothing in front.
What do you want to do?
Can we team up with anybody? Or crap. Well,
Is it time to steal a boat?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We can't go head to head with a tank.
No.
Not like this. I had an idea, but I need something in front of me, so that's not gonna work. And did you want a tank, or did you not really care?
I mean, if you somehow slingshot me at that tank, I will find a way. But it is not necessary, although having a big gun would be helpful.
That's what she said. Okay. Let's see here.
You know I'm all about that mounted gun.
They call a party gun.
You know,
I
screw
just
it.
want those gouts of fire, you know?
Screw it. This is here we go and do. I'm gonna take us off the bridge, and I'm gonna strategically land us onto a boat, which we will take.
Yes!
Give me a driving check, Hotwire.
What?
You turn straight towards the edge of the bridge, hitting the side of it, causing Bruno's eyes to go wide and leaping the SUV through the air. And of course, this is a high-risk maneuver. You have to roll twice on the driving check.
So I beat it by 10.
Beat it by 10. You launch through the air and land perfectly, braking to a dead stop right on the aft section of one of these patrol boats.
And as we're going down, I go, yeah!
Hot wire is a catchphrase now.
Making cowboys, you know.
And Werner goes,
Deadlock Rasta.
And as you hit the patrol boat, the bow kind of shoots up into the air from the impact, but it still stays in the water. And you have now done a hostile boarding using an SUV on a patrol boat. Bruno, you're topping the order off here as we go into it. There are patrol boats approaching. There are Borises on this patrol boat. There was one that was probably the captain, but he's now underneath the SUV, and, well, yeah.
Now he's the Splatton. No,
Yes.
okay. I take it all back.
He's the what now?
Splat.
You could say he's part of the deck.
He's being squished.
He's swabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's swabbing the deck with his body at the moment.
Aren't multiple Borises
Or
called
the
Borai?
Splat. No.
That is a good question.
So I think Bruno's going to take just a moment to breathe, and then, and then we're going to have. I think Night Watch is going to push to the fore just a little bit, so I'm going to use a meta point and move myself one over towards.
Gotcha.
Pilot, towards pilot.
Excellent.
And
towards
so Bruno is then going to, as Night Watch, is going to roll out of the car and then disappear so that he can sneak up behind any Borises that are on this boat and capture them so that we can take over the boat.
Give me a stealth check.
You look more like Matt Murdock than Nightwatch.
So I beat it by 6.
And Night Watch rolls out of the SUV upon impact and disappears. Crash. There are missiles coming straight towards the helicopter that you are in that is no longer flying.
Right. I figured
Just
it was going to
kind
be
of
something like
sitting.
that. I'm putting a reverse trajectory field around the helicopter.
Got you.
Give me a power use roll, please, Crash.
Let's see. I beat that by 3.
Beat that by 3. As the rockets streak in, 3 rockets turn 180 degrees as they reach almost impact of the helicopter, heading back towards the island that you were headed towards a moment ago, the Amnesty Island, and towards the rooftops of buildings over there. The 4th, however, seems to make it through your field of concentration. It's hard to keep the helicopter up and push the rockets away. And it impacts the tail section of the helicopter, and it blows apart into pieces, along with a lot of the side, and you're now kind of in an open air cockpit hovering in the sky.
Amazing.
I'm going to need to bail then, and that's what I'm going to use my second action to do. I'm going to go to the bridge where I think my friends are.
Before you do that, give me a notice check. Let's see if you know where your friends are. You might see them. Oh, wait, you don't need to roll that because you can see them on the map.
Oh, good. But they look like they're on the bridge on the map.
They look like they're on a moving boat on the map.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I'm gonna go there then.
They're occupying an SUV on a boat, like in the same.
Well, 2 of your friends are doing that.
I'm gonna go find that tank. It's
Hey, Sure Shot. Hey, man. We're on a boat. We're on a boat. Take a good hard look at this mother. Oh.
Hotwire, I won't ever forget. Copy that.
You say you find this tank? Well, yeah, the tank is clearly visible.
All right, I'm bailing and I'm going to where that tank is. I'm going to make it a nice target for it. Like, on the bridge. Yo!
So you leap from the helicopter.
Hashtag Bruno buff. Here's to Bruno, who will never drive a car faster than a snail's pace ever again. May you never need to engage in a high-speed chase as the driver.
Thank you.
Isn't that the truth? I'm going to need you to make me another power use roll to not have a nasty impact with the bridge pavement as you fall.
That seems fair. That is a 14, so beat it by 2.
Again, you barely are able to get a hold of it. You've been using a lot of this kinetic power, and it is difficult to maintain so much concentration. You don't quite stick the superhero landing, but it's still a solid landing, and you are right there on the bridge as that tank is barreling down towards you.
Hello.
Free runner / Andy James, you are in mid-flight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. About to impact with a boat and an SUV, which has suddenly stopped moving.
Oh, now see, in my mind, I let that thing go the moment it tried to veer off of a...
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because I don't feel like dying today. Instead, I am going to take the momentum that I have still from that from street surfing, and I'm going to let that carry me right up toward the tank, jumping at the last minute to get myself on top of that motherfucker. And, you know, if I'm brandishing a demon knife, which I know cuts through just about any known substance, to cut my way through the hatch once I land. I mean, I'm not saying...
an athletics test there, please, Andy James.
Uh-huh. So I'm going to beat that by 6.
You slide across the pavement, leaping just as the momentum starts to cut, doing a nice forward roll through the air and landing, taking 2 steps forward on the tank and on top of the turret. You are now on top of the moving tank. There is a hatch, but that hatch is open, and there is a Boris visible in that hatch on the mounted machine gun that is also on top of that tank.
Gotcha. Time to punch Nazis.
Which immediately opens fire on you.
Great. I've never wanted anything more in my life.
And this time, an 8 dodge bonus is not going to be enough. At that close range, the first burst from that machine gun tears into your flesh. That's going to inflict 50 damage. Make sure to apply any armor you might have to that as the heavy machine gun fire strikes you in the body.
It's a damn good thing I'm closer to Andy James and I have that Titan Force armor.
Isn't it? So
Yeah.
are these bullets bouncing off? Is that the case?
Yeah, basically, I'm just like flexing at them for show. Just like, boom. Ricochet abs.
Unfortunately, the clothing of Free Runner is not so invulnerable.
My outfit just got sexier. I don't understand.
Indeed.
How does anyone have a problem with any of this?
The Boris driving the tank continues forward while the main turret gunner is going to fire at Sure Shot, standing alone in the open road.
You had to shoot it, Sure Shot, didn't you?
Oh, and that is a success by 9.
Yeah, that'll be my dodge bonus, no problemo. Target down.
That is a 100 damage hit from a tank main turret cannon, meant to destroy other tanks, not people.
Good, I needed exactly that. That'll do. That will do.
And it leaves a large amount of the asphalt gone after it impacts. And poor Sure Shot is a good solid few meters back from
When the smoke clears, the only thing there is a little box.
Pulling alongside the tank, Andy James, are another pair of those Humvees with the mounted guns on top. And just like the one that opened fire from the turret, they are also opening fire from the tops of their Humvees. Unfortunately, they are still doing the same damage. So even though one manages to get a smashing success upon you, it's just more bullets bouncing off of you as they shred through the uniform of Free Runner. Hotwire, you are on a boat in an SUV. What do you do?
Okay, so who is with me? So she Free Runner should be with me.
Nightwatch was with you, but disappeared. Apparently, Free Runner let go of the grapple when you jumped over the side of the bridge. Because she's not there with you, nor in the nearby water. Nightwatch was with you, but he rolled out of the passenger side and did that disappearing act thing. So you know he's on the boat, and looking at your map, you can see the little indicator that shows he is on the boat, but you can't see him.
Oh, so he's with me.
He's with you, but you can't see him. He's doing that thing that Nightwatch does where he just disappears like a ninja.
All right, fair enough. So Free Runner let go. She's still up on the bridge.
Yep, according to your map, she is currently occupying the same space as the tank.
Riding a tank.
All right. Come on, ride that tank. Now ride it. Come on, ride that tank. Now ride it.
Ride it.
All right. So who was cackling? Who was that?
Sorry.
Oh,
That was Leo.
Oh, Leo. So, and where's Gunboy? Sure Shot?
Sure Shot is on the bridge.
He's on the bridge, but he's in a box?
Yeah, he's got the little question mark indicator as though perhaps the enemy can't see him.
Amazing.
Okay, so all right. So I'm on an SUV on a boat. Now, how big was the boat compared relative to the SUV?
Well, there's barely any room on the sides of the passenger and driver's sides before you hit the railing. But the boat itself was about the length of 3 SUVs, maybe 3.5. So this is only taking up about a third of the boat, or less, in the rear section of the boat, the aft.
Okay, in the rear section. So did the boat have any weapons?
Oh yeah, there is a large caliber machine gun mounted on the bow of the boat, manned by a Boris currently.
And so that's where Boris is.
There is a Boris on the bow. And there are 2 other Borises on board the ship as well. There was a 4th Boris, but he is
I landed on him.
Squished. Yeah.
Okay. And did he have like some striped stockings that curled up underneath me?
No, unfortunately not. He is not a witch.
Oh, okay. All right. So there are 3 Borises on the boat.
That's correct.
Okay. So I assume that we have to take these guys out before I can take control of the boat.
Yeah, and you would want to get out of the SUV and get into the driver's position of the boat as well.
Okay, fantastic. So, very well. It's time to attack these the Bori. There are 3 Bori on this boat. And let me see, hold on a second. Okay. Do these guys have like body armor or anything, or what do they have?
These are just trooper Borises, so they're just in military-style fatigues.
But have AR-like guns or
yes.
What?
Yeah, they don't call them that because the video game would infringe on copyright laws, but yes.
Aha. All right. All right, so time to start fighting dudes then. So, man, see what's in the store.
You've got
What do we
two
have?
meta points, a moment of clarity, a badass. There are two Bruno buffs and a hack attack, which I believe is left over from last week.
Yeah. So, if I use a moment, do I explain to me if that does it again? I'm sorry.
The moment of clarity allows you to use a skill from either sheet, but at the lowest dice. So you can
Right.
use a John Stone maneuver, or you could use a hot wire maneuver, but you would always use the lowest dice when you did it.
Now, does that include using the abilities of Johnstone?
I will absolutely allow that with a moment of clarity.
Okay, fair enough. So that means John Stone has 2 attacks per round, where Hotwire only has 1. So I'm going to use Moment of Clarity to give myself 2 attacks this round, and they'll be simple attacks as I'm bailing out of this some kind of combat roll out of the vehicle, but using my Uzi to attack the 2 that aren't manning the gun. So there's one guy manning the gun, I assume. I'll attack the other 2.
Sounds good. Give me 2 shooting tests. You're going to be at the lowest dice for doing so.
Okay. Yeah. So for this, am I using?
You could use either shooting score from either sheet, whichever one you wish.
Okay.
Because it's a moment of clarity. You get to pick.
Okay.
That's the beauty of moments of clarity.
Wait. Yes. Okay. So beat that one by 11.
And you spray a burst of rounds into the chest of the closest Boris, sending him flailing over the side. His body disappears before it hits the water, and his assault rifle lays there on the deck where his body was a few moments ago.
And the second one I beat by 8.
Beat by 8. And the other Boris flips over the railing, again disappearing before he hits the water, leaving an assault rifle where he just was on the deck.
Nice.
That brings us back to the top with Bruno at a 25. Night Watch.
Ah!
So Night Watch is all sneaky. And so Night Watch was going to take out one of the 2 guys that John Stone just took out. And instead, we're just going to be sneaking up behind the operator of the gun on board this ship.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to do an unarmed assault on him and take him down to incapacitate him and immediately tie him up with whatever pieces of rope are around, which should be abundant being if we're on a boat.
You are on a boat, and they are abundant. Are you using a special ability to use this, Night Watch?
Well, Night Watch has the silent takedown. If he succeeds on a fighting check against an unaware enemy, the enemy is incapacitated.
All right, give me that fighting check.
Oh, wow. That was a bad roll, so I only beat it by 2.
Out of nowhere, Night Watch just appears right behind the Boris manning the gun, wrapping his arms around him in a chokehold type lock. He kicks his feet for a second and struggles, and then goes limp in Night Watch's arms.
And from way up above on the bridge, you can hear, "You go, Grandpa!"
And you now have in your possession a incapacitated Boris, who, strangely enough, as he goes limp and unconscious in your arms, the body disappears and the assault rifle is laying there.
Well, that was not the planned effect, but okay.
Interesting. Meanwhile, back on the bridge, inside of a box, Crash Jackson.
Yes.
So I've been thinking I need to probably avoid that tank gun, but this is a terrible disguise. So I'm going to count on the power of rhyming to go punch a tank.
Okay.
Sure.
Tank,
I'm hoping
bank.
it works out. Right, it's like a bank. My goal, however, is not to hurt this tank. I'm really just trying to flip it over like a turtle.
Now, are you flipping the one that I am on, or are you flipping one of the two that are next to me?
Those are not tanks. Those are armored vehicles. There is but one tank currently.
Okay. Gotcha.
You're only at 4 stars. There's only one tank so far.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but you're so acrobatic. I'm pretty sure you know when to do what.
Oh, don't I just?
Mm-hmm. Although, where are you on the tank right now?
On top of the turret section.
Oh, sure. You're practically in that thing.
Yep.
All right then. I guess I am. I'm gonna have to take out the other two vehicles.
How are you going to do that?
I'm going to split my shots.
Aha!
Giant gun pokes out of tiny box. That probably could have come out better. And yeah, couple call shots to the domes of drivers of said vehicles from the giant gun sticking out of the tiny box. There I said again.
Fat gun in a little box.
Now, of course, that is a split action, which normally has a penalty associated with it. Do you have something that happens when you split your actions firing shots?
I believe I do. Yeah, I take half the normal penalty.
All right, so those 2 shots are only at -1.
It'll be a total of -3 because I'm doing called shots.
Ah, yes, of course.
Because why not? Let's see. That is. Beats it by 6 with the minuses.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one still beats it by 9.
You fire both shots through the tiny little viewports of the armored vehicles, and both of them veer to their respected sides, crashing into the side of the bridge and stopping in their tracks. The guns on them are still manned by a Boris, but they are no longer proceeding forward. Freerunner / Andy James, you're on the turret of the
I want
tank.
to do my move action to take cover.
Aha!
Because that tank shot really, destroyed my kinetic shield.
Yeah.
And I didn't use any of my actions to build that bad boy back up. So, taking some cover, please.
All right, you're going to try and take some cover. Andy James / Freerunner, you're on top of the turret of the tank. You've been sprayed repeatedly by heavy machine gun fire, but it hasn't seemed to hurt you.
Nope. Let's see. What, how many people are in this tank?
You won't know until you're inside of it, but you'd guess at least 3.
Great. So in that case, it's nighttime, baby. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with the one that's shooting my midsection, trying to turn my uniform into, twisty.
A sexy 2-piece?
Sorry?
A sexy 2-piece?
A sexy 2-piece. It's the Padme white costume at this point, Just the midsection's torn away.
Heavy machine guns.
Can pretend.
Making cheesecake shots of Andy James since 2019.
2018, come on. Okay. So I'm gonna start off by going for the throat with my demon blade. And I'm gonna continue to take shots until I fail. With my throwing knives and demon blade.
All right, give me that first one.
So you just like drop down in this tank and go all Danny Trejo on everybody? Just
Yes.
throw knives everywhere.
Yes, exactly that. That's, I'm just not as beautiful as Danny Trejo, so, it'll be a pale likeness or a pale facsimile.
I mean, that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it?
It really does. Whilst I am at it, though, just so I'm rolling on those good 8s, I lost a die somewhere in my bed. Damn. Okay. Wait. No, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to use a meta point to get myself closer to who has better fighting, shooting. Doesn't matter.
I'm going to be using fighting for this.
Great. So I'm going to take a step toward Andy. All right. Yes. So the first one I am going to beat by 2.
All right. You stab the machine gunner, taking his place and dropping down through the open hatch inside of the tank, landing almost next to the gunner of the turret weapon. Give me that second one.
Okay. Am I working on a penalty on this?
Yep, you're at -2.
-2. All right. Oh, okay. But I'm still going to beat it by 11.
What?
As you land next to him, you plunge the knife through his eye.
Goodbye.
Yes. Rolling forward between 2 low-set seats, there are 2 more Borises inside this tank.
Well, I'm going to say something that belongs in a faintly sexist 90s cartoon and say something like, you ruined
the
my
power
life.
is yours.
This one's at a -4.
All right. Oh, damn. We're going to beat it by 6.
And you stab yet another Boris inside of the tank. And give me that last one. This one's at a -6.
Okay. Oh, catastrophic fail. That's I'm gonna.
After seeing the other 3 individuals stabbed, this Boris manages to bring his arm up and block your stab before you're able to get him.
I mean, I tried.
That's all right. Inside of said tank, he pulls a pistol from his belt and attempts to shoot it into you at point-blank range.
Oh no, bullets are only weakness.
Oh no!
Which he manages to do so, but again, these bullets just hit skin and stop because Andy James is nearly indestructible. They do, however, bounce off and ricochet around the cab of the tank and then find themselves embedded back in Boris himself, who shot them.
Now I am having some serious deja vu from this.
And with that, before we get down to the boats, you go up to 5 stars on the wanted level.
Yes.
Feels good to be wanted.
More takes.
I want to be wanted.
Down below in the
Also,
water.
any experimental vehicles they might have.
Down below in the water, 3 approaching patrol boats open fire on the patrol boat now occupied by Hotwire and Night Watch.
Who's firing?
3 other patrol boats approaching the one that you are on. One of them manages to put several large caliber holes in the side of the boat, but it is still afloat. Hotwire, your turn.
Yep, sure is. So there, how many coming at us?
3 patrol boats, and looks like, according to your little map, there are many more that just suddenly appeared out of nowhere in the distance, along with helicopters and a horde of vehicles on the bridge overhead. It seems that 5-star thing really kicked in a lot more reinforcements.
Hey, free runner. So we got your tank now.
We got a tank, baby.
Yeah. So is there a next part of this plan or what? We just gonna fight them all?
I attack from the ground. You attack from the sea.
Oh, is that it? All right. Hey, one more thing now. Is a Nightshade really your grandfather? I mean, I just wanted to know. I wanted to know because it's confused me.
Deep down inside.
All right, we'll talk later.
Where do you want it?
Huh? What's that?
Where do you want it?
Because you said okay, never mind.
No, I got it. Thank you.
Copy that. Jog it down.
Deep down inside, Bruno is my grandfather.
All right. Okay, so
Can't wait till Andy James writes that song that she's been working on for so long. I almost made out with my grandpa twice.
But that beard, it just looks so nice.
I make my way to the bow of the ship we're on, and where is Deadly Nightshade?
Night Watch is standing over where there just was a Boris, but who was at the main gun on the bow. But
So near me,
unfortunately,
hey,
yeah.
Night Watchman. So I'm starting to think that the three of you are something beyond what you presented. So seeing as how we've got hell written down on us, you got some big ideas now. Can you take out the whole ship by yourself? Because I got a gun. I got the ship's gun, and I got me Uzi, and I got me knife. That's about all me got. So if you got anything that you can pull out of your hat, if you can find a helicopter to put down from the sky, it's about time to do it, Because we in the shit now. Night Watchman, you got something to say?
I love that Hotwire is never going to get your name right. Not once.
He's got nothing to say. All right, fine. Perhaps today is a good day to die. Prepare for arming speed.
Oh no!
Taking
I
control of
wasn't
the
the
boat.
one who hopped on the boat.
What was that?
I was not the one who hopped on the boat.
Yep, but you're there now, so.
You're here now, so can you shoot laser beams out of your eyes or something? Can you do a Hadouken fireball into the boat, huh?
I'll do what I can.
All right. That's not helpful, but okay. So as long as we're in this, let's just go for it. Then I'm gonna punch it. But I'm at the helm with the steering wheel. I don't know what you got there, but the gun. So I'm gonna stay on the gun. So, but I'm hot shot, and upshot, and I can pilot and gun at the same time. So I can pilot and gun at the same time. So
yes,
I'm sure I can do it without a penalty. So I'm going to just go head to head with the first big ship coming at us, and then hoping that Nightbird has something planned for any other adversaries coming along.
All right, I will take your boating check followed by your shooting test.
Boating and shooting.
Yes,
but I
boating.
do.
Shooting and boating.
Boating and shooting, shooting and boating.
How are we gonna shoot all these boats?
All right. I beat the boating by 6.
All right, I'm gonna keep track of that for when they're shooting at you.
And the shooting by 4. But
all right,
I'm going to boost that up with my +3 from the Patreon.
Make it by 7. That is going to definitely hit the nearest patrol boat. And as you rake the fire across the deck of the boat, You shoot 2 of the Borises and put holes all through the cabin of the ship. Smoke begins to come off of it, and a small fire starts on the ship.
It's the Borai, plural, Boris.
The
Borai.
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 Bruno, it is on you. You also have access to said map and can see that there are numerous patrol boats approaching. Helicopters have now been added back in. The tank is occupied by Andy James above, and also on the bridge is Sure Shot. But out of nowhere, more armored vehicles and more tanks have appeared on the bridge above. That where they came from, it's impossible to say. They just appeared on the bridge and are approaching both Andy James and Crash Jackson.
Okay, how many patrol boats are there, and where are they in relation to us?
There are 3 patrol boats that are close by. One of them has caught fire. There are another half dozen closing, but they are a little ways out, along with the approaching helicopters, and for Crash and Andy above, the approaching tanks. Not too far away, but far enough that they're at the edge of your heads-up display map.
The 2 boats that are closer to us that are not already damaged, are they close to in relation to one another?
Yes, in fact, 2 of them are pretty close together.
Okay, so I'm going to use a meta point and go back to full Bruno.
Meta point used.
And we're going to try and tap into elemental magic and try and create waves that are going to take those 2 boats and smash them into one another. Just large waves that'll suddenly kind of tip them up, and so they'll just take each other out, top of deck.
Using some elemental water magic. One even Lothar himself struggled with.
So I beat it by 3. We're going to use my +5 Patreon bonus to make it beat it by 8.
Beating it by 8, you hit them, causing the waves to just rise up together, and the bows of both ships slam together. And while the ships aren't destroyed, both of them are rolled over in the waves and are upside down. Their hulls now facing upwards.
Whoa! Whoa!
Something like that.
Nightman, you do good. You do good, man.
Crash Jackson.
All right, there are now many, many, many tanks, huh?
There are many tanks, armored vehicles, and helicopters approaching from both sides of the bridge, seemingly spawned out of nowhere when you hit that 5-star mark.
Makes sense. And Andy's up here with me?
She is currently in one of the tanks. Well, in the only still functioning vehicle nearest to you, which is a tank.
All right, I'm going to go man the gun on the turret then.
All right, you man the gun on the turret. Crash leaps inside the tank with you, Andy James.
He seems to know right where to go.
Yep. Sitting exactly where the gunner was before you put a knife through his eye.
Oh, cool, more guns. He picks up more guns, puts them in his inventory.
It actually just adds to the ammo of the gun that you already have.
Handgun,
yep.
assault rifle.
You can just see the numbers going up in your inventory for ammunition.
Sweet. I'm going to swing that turret around and start shooting tanks.
All right, give me a shooting test at a tank.
Point to the other end of the bridge and go, we need to go that way. Copy that?
Copy that. Do you have the shot?
I have the shot. Where do you want it?
Shoot
it.
Boom! Baby.
Take a shot.
Thank you very much.
Oh, snap. I was going to say thanks for the memories.
You're going to have to slightly there.
I beat my shooting test by 1.
Beat it by 1. Well, you know, tanks don't have really high dodge bonus. In fact, they don't have a dodge bonus. They rely on being heavily armored. And your shot hits this tank solidly. And it kind of grinds to a halt, but the tank is still functional. It's just no longer mobile. Very good. And you can also kind of see the health indicator. That tank is at 50% health.
Ah. Well.
Andy James / Freerunner.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
Well, let's see. Our objective is to take the safe zone at on Amnesty Island, right?
Yep.
Yep, that's what
Great.
Boris told you, and he also told you you'd fail.
He did. I feel like I don't care for failure. So I'm gonna let Hotshot up there take care of my enemies, and I'm going to start driving this tank toward our objective.
Right? Any evasive maneuvering, or just going full speed straight towards the island?
Is there such a thing as evasive maneuvering in a tank?
Absolutely, there is.
Okay.
From artillery.
I mean, they don't have a dodge bonus, so I'm just double checking.
Zigzag.
Go ahead and give me a driving test. This will determine a dodge bonus.
Uh-huh. Oh, now sure. That's super interesting. Because I don't have driving as Andy James.
Uh-oh.
She was a bus taker. We talked about this.
This is true. All right.
What about Freerunner? Does Freerunner have driving?
Freerunner sure does, but there are no...
Sorry.
Nope. No moments of clarity, no meta points in the store.
Don't
So I
worry,
can't
Andy.
reach it.
When we get back, Gramps will teach you how to drive.
Thanks, honey. I really appreciate that. It's fascinating because I have in the past had piloting and whatnot, but I guess I did not take those skills from those bonded avatars. And I can't access it at all, can I?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Oh, all right. Maybe I'm not driving this tank.
Just use your body score.
Body score, mind score.
Okay, well, my mind is 8, which honestly
Hashtag Andy
is
buff,
not that much
hashtag
higher.
crash buff. Let's just kill all the everyone at once and get to the safe zone that way. I mean, if Terry's no one left to alert, then there should be no alert levels, right? Works in Red Dead.
We got a crash buff and an Andy buff added to the store.
Okay. Well, let's see. I can. Honestly, my mind is only 2 points less than my driving. As Freerunner. Well, what do you think? You wanted to use Hacksaw to? Well, you've already taken your turn.
I'm a box.
Box. All right.
Yeah, you're a dick in a box.
Sure.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay, it was bound to happen. You were the one who did it. Drink.
How'd that driving test go?
Not great. That's a fail by 4.
All right, so the dodge bonus is going to remain a fat 0 for when they are shooting, which happens to be right now.
Great.
Three tank shots belt out towards your approaching tank. 2 of them hitting perfectly in the front of the tank you're driving, tearing apart the front armor, destroying the tracks, and giving you an open air cockpit now, driving that tank where you weren't before, and filling that part of the tank with shrapnel, which bounces off of your near invulnerable body.
So what you're telling me is it's lighter now, so it goes faster.
It's not going at all and is on fire as well. The tank is at 0 health.
It was worth a try. It really was.
But it
Your
didn't explode.
vehicle is no longer functional.
But it didn't explode.
Hotwire down on the boat.
All right, so we already took out the opposing boats, right? That were in front of us, because I took out one of
The
them.
nearest
and then-
ones, yes. One is on fire, but still semi-functional. They obviously were spending their time not shooting at you, but trying to put out the fire a moment ago. And then 2 are upside down.
So, am I close enough to where Freerunner is to help in this fight?
They are right overhead of you on the bridge still.
But not like overhead. They're like overhead.
Yeah. But you could get that boat right underneath that bridge pretty easily.
Have them join us.
So, Freerunner, you gonna? Well, you got no vehicle now. So,
Got no vehicle now.
and where's Gunboy?
He's on top of the no vehicle.
Oh, so you're both there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to ride? No.
I think we might want to ride.
Copy that.
That works.
Coming at you.
All right. You're actually going to be counting as held for your action to begin immediately going when you're joined by both Freerunner and Sure Shot. And we'll go to Bruno next to see if he has anything he wants to do while we're waiting for that to happen.
So there's still a boat that's damaged that's pursuing us that's not at a distance.
Yeah, they didn't open fire. They're trying to put out the fire that's on board their particular ship. Their Boruses are trying to put out the fire.
Are they still trying to pursue us? Are we still close, or are they kind of...
They're close, but they're not moving towards you. They're kind of drifting towards you at the present moment.
And then the other boats are still quite a ways away, so if we have the rest of the team join us and then take off, we can...
You might very well be able to escape.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, since he's focusing on driving the boat, I'm going to hop on the, whatever it is, the heavy machine gun on the boat, and take out as much as I can of the boat that is on fire and is closer to us, so that we have fewer chances of being pursued if they get the fire out.
All right, go ahead and give me a shooting test.
Beat it by 8.
You open fire on them, and just as they're finishing putting out the fire, you rake the boat with machine gun fire, killing 2 of the Boruses on board and starting another fire, which promptly causes that boat to explode, as the vehicles around here are prone to doing.
Perfect.
Crash. The tank is non-functional at the moment. The turret's no longer moving. It's on fire, and you have the distinct impression that it is going to explode soon.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's get down to the boat.
Yep,
There is
I
a
can
boat,
grapple us
according
down to
to
the
the map.
boat.
Yeah, almost right underneath you.
Great. I leap, basically over the boat, off the tank and over the bridge. As I do that, I hang off the bridge for just a second before I drop down, and I remove the friction from the roadway.
Nice. Nice.
Give me a power use roll, please.
And this is as good a time as any to use that hacksaw up, right?
Yes, it is.
Great. I've got a 5 on that, so I beat it by 11.
A critical success, and the
I got
friction
5 on it.
is
I just
removed.
turned this. Tanks are basically on a giant air hockey table now.
Yeah, we will get to
Oh,
that
boys.
in a few moments. Freerunner, Andy James, you're next.
Yeah, so
Your shot
I'm
has
going
leaped
to...
off the bridge.
Yeah, I'm basically going to rappel off the side of this thing, so I'm using my my arm-mounted grapple. For a second, it was just a can floating in space, Mark. So arm-mounted grapple. I'm jumping off the edge of this thing, shooting up to just slow my descent, and I'm just gonna kind of like abseil down to
Love
the
it.
boat.
I'll take an athletics and shooting test from you on those.
Great.
I fall
You
Yeah.
fall.
to the boat.
I mean, If I might be able to catch you.
Nah, it's okay. It's just a fall. As long as I'm not like a barrel from Lethal Weapon 4, the boat will be okay.
I'm more worried about you. All right. Sorry, it was athletics and shooting.
Yep.
Okay, athletics I'm going to beat by 2. Shooting I'm going to beat by 10.
You fire the perfect shot with the grapple into the bridge, hitting just that great point to get a nice perfect swing and then slow your descent, doing into a nice spin, twist, tumble, and landing right on the bow of the ship next to Night Watch. Right as you land, you see a sure shot falls, hits the roof of the SUV that's still on the ship, stints it in a little bit, and then rolls off, landing on the railing.
Amazing.
You people are sloppy.
And I'll take that boating check from you, Hotwire, now.
And we can kind of tell when we look at each other, like, how much pilot or avatar we are, right?
You're still getting in the hang of that yourself, Bruno, but the others are pretty practiced at it. You're starting to catch on, though.
I'm still pretty aware that Andy is pretty much Andy and not Freerunner, right?
Yes.
I would go for 8.
Beat that by 8. You take off at a high rate of speed, zipping past destruction and carnage. Above you, you hear the strangest sound, and then tanks are actually flying through the air off of the bridge and then landing down in the water several hundred meters away from the bridge.
Krause, what did you do?
And you reach the warehouse-lined docked shores of Amnesty Island, ducking the boat in underneath some piers, and then slowly watching the wanted level crawl back down to 0.
Nobody stepped on any asphalt for a few minutes.
No, it's just rock down here.
I don't know how far it spread, so.
And you have found Amnesty, and that's where we're going to end this episode of Masters of the Metaverse. I want to thank all of you for joining us for that action-packed insanity session. We've got more for you next week with the same avatars and this same cast. The stunning conclusion, in fact, of what will be this part of the Metaverse story will be coming up very soon on the 2-part finale for this season, so keep watching. We've got some great other shows this week. Void Jumpers is on.
Void Jumpers is actually taking a hiatus. They finished their first season
last week.
They did.
So so they'll be back a week away on, I think it's the 15th, is that right?
Then you should use this week to catch up on Void Jumpers if you haven't watched it, or on older episodes of Masters of the Metaverse. We have Trapper and Crow this week on Friday. You can't miss
God, it's been like 2 weeks. I'm so excited.
Yeah, more Trapper and Crow. Everything is also on the Fantasy Network. If you guys haven't seen it there, there's some other stuff on YouTube, but really you should watch the Fantasy Network because it's the Fantasy Network and it's awesome. And we have all kinds of great stuff on there.
There's like 120 episodes of Metaverse now on the Fantasy Network you can watch. And, it's all there.
I mean, there's just some great stuff.
In just a few short years, we'll be back in the studio.
Yep, and only a few more years, we will be back in the studio doing more.
Come back sooner than that.
But yeah, I want to thank all of you for joining
us. Skeleton of Mark.
No.
I want to thank all of you for joining us for another wild and crazy episode of Masters of the Metaverse. Oh, did you guys hear? We're going to do a Metaverse Gen Con special. Did you know that? Yeah, Gen Con went virtual this year, and we're going to be doing a Gen Con Metaverse special. Who's going to be in it? I'm not going to tell you. What's it going to be out? I'm not going to tell you. But stay tuned.
Gamers Live, too.
On that. We're going to have some Gamers Live.
And the Gamers Live.
Got some great stuff coming, so don't miss any of that. You want to pay attention to Zoe and find out what's coming that way. And watch some more Metaverse with us when you come back next week. We love all of you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Respect.
Masters, masters of the metaverse, masters of the metaverse. They travel through time and space and stuff. Troll them, re-roll them, throw them above. They fly through dimensions, this isn't bluff. Heroes compelled, they have no choice. Bound by the winds of a secret voice. Masters, masters of the metaverse, masters of the metaverse. Masters of the metaverse, masters of the metaverse.